Hello, and welcome to the Wheel of Time, not the Wheel of Time, the Wheel and Chill show. I mean, it's a weekly stream about the Wheel of Time show, so it's an honest mistake that I just made. Nobody make fun of me. And I am one of your co-hosts, Kritter XD. You may know this about me. We'll introduce me later, though. We have a special guest other than our normal co-host today, and that is the Meme Reborn from Twitter.
Hello,
he is the
welcome
one
to the Wheel of Time.
in the, oh my gosh,
The Wheel and Chill show.
Hold on.
I mean, it is about.
This is chaos.
It's a
This is
weekly.
chaos.
You good?
Guys,
I think we're
What's
good.
happening?
It's
What's
fine.
happening?
I fixed it.
Good echo. We're good.
Literally, it is chaos today. Everything's fine. I am a professional. The Meme Reborn is here as our special guest. And we usually ask our special guests to introduce themselves and explain what their relationship with the Wheel of Time is. So, take it away.
Okay, well, I'm the Meme Reborn, and I make memes for Wheel of Time. I started on Twitter, I guess, like, it's been a couple of months now, so I haven't been around for too long, but some people call me Mr. Winespring because Winespring is my wife, and so that's really great. But yeah, I just make memes and just kind of interact with people and have fun. So, yeah, that's me.
That's you. Beautiful. Welcome to the stream.
Great job.
And
Thank you.
yeah, very good job. Way better than I did
Great
at the
job.
beginning of this with all of my
Way better than all of us.
mistakes. Hello everyone in the chat. Thank you for being here. Danaloo, it's cool that you have to leave soon. I think you're the one who said that. We were super happy that you're here for the moment. Everybody else, what up? Thank you for coming. This is all very exciting. So today we got some crazy news. Before we jump into episode 5 of the Wheel of Time, which is the main topic for today, and before we introduce ourselves as co-hosts, because that's a thing that I already skipped over, but we'll circle back to, let's talk about the casting, yes? All right, let's do this. I'm going to pull it up. So, I have to fix this.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. All right. You can see, it's okay, everything's fine. Oh yeah. You guys probably all saw this on Twitter already, but we have some cast members for season 2.
Yay!
Yay!
Excited. Super excited.
So cool.
Really exciting. So we've got Uno, Masima, and Ingtar as the 3 that are right here. And then I'll show you the article and whatever. There's more. I just adjusted it and then I messed it
But
up.
wait.
I know, but wait, there's more. Isn't it exciting? All right, so let's scroll down. We've got these 3: Guy Roberts, Arnest Fedorovicius, and Greg Chilingirian. I probably completely butchered that. Yeah, casting Thirst Trap. Marin, you are right about that. And then,
Masima.
Yes.
wait, where'd they go? I thought there was more. Do we not actually have a picture of them in this article? What is happening? Well, okay, so we also got Agomar and Agomar's sister. What's her name? It's escaping me now. Lady Agomar's sister. Here we go, Lady Amelisa. Gosh, wow. My mind went black. So yeah, this is fun.
The unicorn hat.
Yeah, these 3 were cast as regulars for season 2, so we're gonna get some major hot everyone right now. You know, it's funny. I'm trying to fix my Streamlabs on the wrong time.
All right, so they're regular for season 2. No, they're from the stills and whatnot that they're going to Faldara. So are they going to be in this season too?
I don't think the article said that, but they did say Agomar and Lady Amelisa are going to be guest stars in season 1. So those are
suck if we don't get Uno's one bloody flaming something later in freaking season 1. I'd be pissed.
I mean, I feel like when we show up to Faldara, right, he has to be there. No, right? Thank you, Danaloo, who was Amelisa. I completely blacked out.
I think when they got to the end,
Thank you.
they would meet, innkeeper from the Queen's Blessing at the Lights. What do they call it? Light's Blessing? But we didn't get that either.
You are right, Kevin Mundweiler. Now that you say that, Uno wasn't in the trailer. Didn't we get like the back of his head?
I thought it was with the white hair, right?
Yeah.
On the left.
Yes.
But, we're speculating it was Uno. We know
White
for a fact
hair?
it was Uno.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he had the white top knot.
Yeah. Well, I
The
think
white top knot or something.
I think it's safe to say we're getting Uno this season. Not sure about these other 2 though. Masima and Ingtar. Although we're gonna see him apparently a lot in season 2, and so I feel like no book spoilers, but that really tracks with book 2.
It's like they went to some bar and got these guys from like One Power Mike's like dance show or something. So Andy's manager was going to say One Power Mike.
There you go.
Sidene Mike.
Sided Mike's.
Um,
Because seriously,
I guess.
yeah.
good looking guys.
Yeah, Wild
It's
Gardena,
ridiculous.
you are not wrong. They pulled Uno straight, like, in my mind's eye. That is exactly what Uno looks like. Exactly. And even though I didn't really picture Massima, he was just this chaotic blob in my mind. It makes so much sense to have Messina be, like, flaming hot. You know what I mean? For
You
reasons.
say chaotic blob.
Yeah, I did. I don't always
Okay.
picture. I don't always picture.
I want to pass over that.
I don't always
Book
picture
canon.
people
Book
whenever
canon,
I'm
yeah.
reading books. I just kind of like, I have feelings. You know what I mean? Like when I'm reading, I'm like,
Yeah.
this person's doing that, but I don't have an image for that person. Does that make sense?
My vision for Massima was the dungeon master from the original D&D screen for Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like first talking about first edition, the little bald guy with the cloak and the hood.
Okay, yeah.
That's who I thought it was.
That works too.
Well, I think this might
Yeah.
be preferable to that, if I'm being honest. Like, this feels better. I'm not sure. And I've seen it. I haven't actually seen him in anything, but some people are saying that he was in some witch show.
Which one?
If there's anybody
look
in
at
the
the
chat
chat.
is aware, he was in some
Oh.
show with witches, or maybe that's the one who's playing Ingtar. Either one of them is in another fantasy project or whatever. So
If anybody knows which show that is, let us know.
Dresden said, I totally agree. I'm
Chat.
really excited they're keeping them. Some people were asking if we're going to get Huron, because his casting was not announced. He was a big character in book 2, and he would presumably be cast alongside 2 of these guys at least. So, Discovery of Witches. Thank you, Wild Gardena. Very
Here we go.
helpful.
Which one was it though?
I think it was the one on the far
Did-
right. I think it was Ingtar.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. So basically, if you want to see what he's made of between now and then, check it out. Discovery of Witches. Very exciting times.
Check it out. Yep. That'd be
Okay,
Love it.
so there's fun casting. We're really excited. We're definitely getting to Faldara, even though we kind of knew that already based on the ads and the fact that the last episode, I'm pretty sure, is called The Eye of the World. That was released.
Yes.
Yeah,
3
so
episodes left.
we're getting
Oh
up
my
there.
gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna cry.
So I feel like where episode 4 was explosive, episode 5 kind of took a beat. You know what I mean? Episode 5 was emotionally there, like emotionally high caliber, but there wasn't nearly as many explosions. Let's put it that way. And I
No,
think,
not.
I think that's a good
Just
thing.
mental.
Just a lot of mental explosions. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that's a really good thing because it keeps giving us like these ebbs and these flows where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could take any more action, and then it's like, well, I don't have to because they're giving me a little breather, you know? Do you guys agree that that's kind of the pacing, that it's these humps and like dives?
You're absolutely right. This
Totally.
episode was totally inner turmoil.
Yeah.
Inner turmoil to the max, not only for the characters but for the viewers.
Yeah.
Different
Yeah.
levels.
Speaking of inner turmoil for the viewers, let's get into our first image that I'm gonna have to tweak my stream once again to show you all
Oh.
because I keep moving it around to show different photos. But here we go.
Okay.
May the last embrace of the mother welcome you home. Like, what a line. What a callback to the books. That is one of the most beautiful, like, funeral rite, like, send-offs I think they have in the books. I can't remember any others. I just love that one.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
and then Moraine does it to her sister. Like, I was moved. What about you guys? Winespring, did you have a strong emotional reaction to this scene?
I had a strong emotional reaction to the entire episode.
Fair.
Yeah, I definitely
True.
did. I loved, and by the way, I can't see Twitch. It's still spinning, so I'm not sure which image we're on at the moment.
It's Moraine It's Moraine, like,
okay.
bending down, giving the blessing.
She was putting the candle on the.
Right,
Yeah.
which I'm not showing because I'm a noob.
Okay,
Here we go.
when she's saying that, I think I believe I remember her from that. They cut to Leandrin closing her eyes, and it's very emotional. Is that right?
I
Yep,
think
that's
so.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I super appreciated both of those moments there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Her closing her eyes, Landrin closing her eyes while everyone else's eyes stayed open, I think actually intensified her response there. Or maybe she was praying to someone else. Who knows? But we'll find out. I don't know,
not a believer in the mother. She good riddance, says Leandrin.
Yeah, she might have closed her eyes when talking to somebody else. So
I think, I'm still of the belief that Leandrin had something to do with that death, so therefore she wasn't really feeling a whole lot. Then please don't catch me.
Yeah.
Maybe joy.
Maybe a little bit.
You're wrong.
All right,
I'm
so
wrong.
Kevin Bunweiler actually called out something that we pulled a screenshot for. A king for a king. Tavern, you caught this. I didn't notice this detail, but do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so the first time I watched the episode, noticed it right away that everybody was laying different, people to rest, but it was Lan not only laid the King of Gildan to rest, but he put his helmet, which I don't know where the hell he found the helmet because he wasn't wearing it when he was running through the woods, but he found the helmet, which means he went out of his way to, put everything together for him, did a prayer for him, and Lan being, the king of Malkier, just it was touching to me to see one king paying tribute to another king, giving him such an honor by personally laying him to rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt very symbolic.
It kind of humanizes your enemy a little bit.
For sure. For sure. Fizzle Gig, what up? We are back. It's the Wheel and Chill Show.
Fizzle!
Every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central. So welcome back. Sorry.
Yeah.
I get really excited.
We're not doing the B square again.
Dresden Sedai, you are right. They buried their attackers, which does say a lot. I think they're honorable foes. They were you know what that just reminds me of? I got really excited that Fizzle Gig showed back up, and we didn't even do like the co-host introductions because I'm once again absolutely all over the place today, and I apologize. But all right, so let's do these. Let's do this. Let's introduce ourselves. Talk about our Wheel of Time. Like a brief intro into our Wheel of Time experience. Tavern. Let's start with you.
Wheel of Time experience. I started in 2000. I was deployed. A friend of mine recommended the books before I deployed. I took, I think, the first 3 with me and proceeded to have my wife send me the books, steady stream, as many as she could find throughout my deployment. I came back and had to wait like everybody else for, the last few books. But yeah, I was hooked ever since, and I'm on my 3rd reread.
Yeah. And your current Wheel of Time projects, hit us with your deets. Also, in the YouTube description, everybody's links are there, except Meme Reborn's, but I will throw that in after the fact.
Okay.
And also, he's on Twitter, so at the Meme Reborn, and you'll get there. So, sorry, Tavern, go ahead.
You're good. So this is one of my time things for WoTTube. So if you're a WoTTube,
oh, very nice. Cool.
Then this shirt is on my store. I've got a few new designs. I've got a couple ideas for designs, and I also have my TikTok account where I talk a lot of stuff in a confused manner.
Beautiful. Winespring, hit us with your deeds.
Hey, that's me. I'm Winespring, winespringcafe.com, where you can find all the awesome Wheel of Time related recipes so you can eat your way through the world of the Wheel of Time. winespringcafe.com.
winespringcafe.com. That was so good.
.com.
Yeah.
And I am Kritter XD. I have a TikTok account where I also talk about the Wheel of Time a lot. It's obscene. I'm also Egwene Alvear on Twitter, and I'm also myself on Twitter, KritterXD. I've got a YouTube channel, I've got a Twitch channel, and I've got a Discord. So hit me up on any or all of those platforms, and I am happy to talk Wheel of Time with you. Obviously, that's why we're here. Okay, so let's see. I've got some
Go in the cold open.
Got some, yeah. I've got some people in the chat. I've seen that the candles in the bodies burn down and cremate the bodies. Interesting. And they bury their enemies with respect in case they knew them in the past. ? That's an interesting thought, but cool for world building.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is pretty
Oh,
neat.
cool.
Wheel and Chill, Nerdy Guns, we're here. yeah, there were a lot of funerals this episode, which is fair. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess let's see what other, if we have any other images that we really like.
There's
Oh,
a
there was a
lot of
couple just
funerals.
like, let me just kind of blaze through these because we already talked about how emotionally powerful it was. But seeing Stepan carry Karini, like,
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. I love just seeing this man so powerfully carrying like this woman that he loves.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was rough.
There's that. I think there was also that shot at the very, very beginning, after the snowy trees, of Alana
There she is.
singing, which I thought was incredible.
What do we think the stripe symbolizes? Down her eye, her right eye, I believe.
No, I mean,
Some kind of mourning or something.
Maybe
yeah,
they
we
were
know that.
lost
Yeah,
in battle, you know, because it like to me it kind of, well, I'm a Disney kid, so it reminds me of Scar, which I know is not what what they necessarily were inspired by, but it does feel like something possibly just ceremonial, but also maybe like as relates to having a loss in battle. That's my guess. I don't know. I don't know.
I go as far as to say, since it is a funeral of sorts, it is a mourning ritual, or a ritual of mourning, that not having their white mourning garb on hand,
Yeah.
that might be a battle version of that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
That's white. That's a really
That
good
feels
point.
right. Yeah.
Oh wow! Look at us, just like filling in all the gaps.
Solved it.
Solved
The
it.
wine.
Easy.
Done.
Beautiful. Okay.
Long enough.
So yeah, that's it. All
We're
right.
done.
So, oh my gosh, we decided our next people we were going to talk about. Help me out. I don't want to get it wrong. Was it Matt and Rand?
Egwene and Perrin.
Egwene and Perrin. Thank you. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
we're
You're
going
right.
to Wayne Perrin.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
We do have pre-meetings on this show. You know
yeah,
that, right?
guys, we talk
We
about this in
do.
advance. Even though I'm a mess,
No idea how
everyone
much
else
of
is
the
very
20
put
minutes we
together.
spend preparing.
I don't know. Go.
All right, so
We're talking about Tinker Punches.
Tinker punches. Here we go with the
Okay.
Tinker Punch
Tinker
photo.
punches.
That's right.
I just want to punch every single one of these guys in the nose. Like, just right in the nose. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is that the reaction you guys had?
It's a normal
Yeah.
reaction.
Okay.
It's an interesting reaction considering the whole Way of the Leaf, watching them respond, and all of us want to come in and just whoop ass for them so that they don't have to
Yeah.
respond in violence.
And I think I
Fisticuffs.
said,
Yeah.
I think I said this to you before, that don't understand the naysayers. The show is to say 95%, 98% to me good. The fact that they have us cheering and loving the Tinkers, mind-boggling to me.
I know. Me, are you a fan of the Tinkers in the books, or did this surprise you? Are you a fan of show Tinkers more than book Tinkers?
I think I really liked what they're doing in the show. It really kind of just brings them to life, you know, especially for how they're using them in the show.
Yeah.
So I think I lean towards the show on that, maybe.
Yeah. I think seeing the linked arms for me was like, wow, you know what? Like, that makes sense. That's all they can really do under their philosophy. But it's such a strong statement, especially seeing it visually. I just like fell in love with them all over again, even though, like, I guess it was last episode, Isla almost sold me on the Way of the Leaf with her big speech to Perrin anyways, you know? So
This episode, she chunked her staff down and like linked arms. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
right?
She's such a leader.
She is.
There was this moment right after Valda smacked her and she fell, and then pulled her back up. She squared herself away, bloody nose and all, relinked arms, and went into this little speech about how, yeah, you can stomp us, you can crush us, but the leaf will always, you know, come back or whatever. And you could just see Rain standing next to her. This, at first there was worry when she got smacked. Then as she's talking, there's this look of adoration and pride in his face that's insane. Acting was incredible.
Yeah. I think she said like that we'll become part of the earth.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So,
Which was like, wow. Yeah.
so
It's like beyond his control.
Yeah, he said that, you know, she said the light can be covered by a baby's palm, but the leaf will become part of the earth.
Yeah.
It was just
So
insane. Great. I need to write all of these things she says down.
They're all
Yeah.
very
I just need
inspiring.
to write them all down.
Oh, just as a little brief aside, Fizzlegig, thank you so much for the Prime subscription. You will see that I updated my whatever they're called, it's the little icons that you can post in the chat. I'm a really good streamer, so the fact that I
Great
know
job.
but yeah, you now have multiple available to you, so enjoy them. And thanks for the sub again. Okay, so we also noted some weird stuff whenever Perrin and Egwene were running away. I don't know if you guys saw this, but my weird whenever I was watching it, I reacted immediately to these weird faces on these rocks, right? These rocks have faces.
Man,
Why?
seriously.
What's that all about?
Yeah, I don't remember anything in the books. Like that doesn't trigger anything.
Yeah.
I
automatically for
don't
me?
either. So there's two faces
Yeah.
in this shot. You can't see one because I think it's cropped over on the right.
Mhm.
But they're
let me pull
different
up
from
these
the
ones.
they're different from the three faces that we see right
Yeah.
after this. So
There we
Yep.
go.
it
Yeah.
wasn't just those three faces, which is insane to me. Now, I didn't see the shape of a body or the shack that you guys were talking about.
Oh
No, I
yeah,
did,
like the
yeah.
mossy look.
It's in the middle.
It's in between the two small and I think the
Oh,
three bigger
okay.
faces, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks
go
like
back
a
and look, 'cause I didn't-
person going like this or something.
Really? I missed that too. But you're right. Fizzlegig, it almost looks like see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. We
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
mentioned that in our pre-stream meeting last night. And it's
Yeah.
kind of just, yeah, I mean, I think it's another point of world building where it's like, this place has been around for a long time and it at one point was even older than it is now, and at one point it was way more advanced than it is now. And I don't know where the heck
Yes.
and when the heck these were from. They're clearly very old, but it makes you wonder, right?
Mm-hmm.
I almost wonder if it's a situation where, they're filming in Prague where there's probably lots of stuff like this.
Yeah.
And they're like, we should incorporate this somehow because it looks really cool. It makes you talk about it,
Yeah.
So you think it was like a last minute decision? It was something in real life, and it just
Yeah, Kevin Mundweiler in the chat
It's
says
possible.
he vaguely remembers it was from the actual location in the show. And Hillbilly brought up a good point that Perrin and Egwene did camp at Ardor Hawkween's statue. So maybe because this existed in the actual environment in Prague, they were like, this could be a little
True,
throwback
yeah.
to the fact that there are old statues that people don't really understand in this
Yeah.
world.
I like that.
cool. Yep, that makes sense.
All very cool points, chat. Look at you. Look at us. We're figuring everything
job.
out. All right.
You guys
Teamwork,
have good
dreamwork.
wine.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay. Let's see. We're so yeah, now we're about to all get mad again if you're ready. We're talking about Perrin and Egwene, and Egwene is my favorite character.
Big bubbles.
Seeing her
Big
in
bubbles.
this scene, if I was mad at the Tinkers before, man, I was fully ready to abandon the way of the leaf at this point. Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty pissed.
Yeah.
It was disturbing on a lot of levels. Yeah.
Winespring, what were your feelings while watching this scene?
I'm like fiddling with things around me, trying to figure out how to answer appropriately. My feelings were violence.
Same.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
with-
I had very violent feelings in response to. So I can't actually see the images. Oh, here we go. Okay. So this is the image with
This is
her
the
face
image,
being
yeah,
grabbed.
her
Is that
face
right?
being
Okay.
She's being scrubbed down. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to cut his hands off.
Not because
Yeah.
it'll keep him from channeling, because I want to torture
He
him.
shouldn't be touching her that way.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
He should not be using his hands that way. Yeah.
I think you're right. And I think Nynaeve's conversation with Rand, which sort of gets into the next, obviously the Rand plot, but it involves Egwene, so I think it's worth mentioning. That big speech about how she got breakbone fever, and after the night where she fought it the entire time and refused to drink the wisdom's tea, she proved the fever broke and she hadn't because she's unbreakable. Bam! This scene, that basically well, the washing happened before, I think, that monologue, but then her with Valda and everything that happens after that happened after that. And it was so
Yes.
it was so perfect. It led straight into it, and it was
Mm-hmm.
it was my girl Egwene at her finest, even though I did not want to watch it while it was happening.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you go to winespringcafe.com, there's this soup called Nynaeve's garlic gnocchi soup. It was totally rumored in the Two Rivers to have helped Egwene during the breakbone fever.
Oh, fever?
So yes,
Wow.
it's listed there in the notes at the bottom if you check it out.
I will have some today. You should too.
Good.
and
Shameless
that-
plug, forgive me.
And that was a word from our
Fine.
sponsors.
I'm trying to help you.
You're right, Kevin Wundweiler. It makes me mad that these White Cloaks feel like they can touch women, especially however they want, whenever they want. They showed it with Moraine in the episode when they were searching. You know, they didn't somehow, for some reason, they didn't touch Lan, but they got all up in Moraine's business, which I mean is understandable because Lan is a complete stud. But also, like, why Moraine and not Lan? You know what I mean? Why Egwene and not Perrin? It's a bunch of
bullies.
BS.
Yeah, if I remember right, during that scene, like Valdez sits down to eat and he's like, "Oh, good, all covered up now," as if it was like her choice to have not been covered that whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
To
What
top it
made
off,
it
he's like
okay.
hands, like tie her down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like, one thing that made it really uncomfortable for me when I was rewatching it, the whole time they're doing that to her, like they have her face, like they're holding her face the whole time, and it's just like it just adds to the intensity of what's already horrible.
Yeah.
There was that. There
Intense.
was the inhumane in which they were doing it, and by inhumane I mean inhuman. Basically, they were treating her like an animal. They were scrubbing her down as if she were a horse.
It was a horse brush. Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah. And so
I will say
for
I don't
them-
clean animals like that. That's too rough for an animal. So I don't know what animal y'all are talking about.
But what I'm saying is
Nobody should be
we're
roughly
not
handled that
treating
way.
her. Yeah, they weren't treating her as if she were human at all. She was beneath them. So, and that's exactly how they treated her, which it was just extremely disturbing.
It was.
They unbraided her hair. I think that's the other shot. There's another shot about with them unbraiding her hair, which yeah.
Let me
We can get into
It
the
kind of
psychology
feels
of what they
like
were doing, but I'm not going to do that right now.
The whole moment where she falls, not falls, she gets pushed by Nynaeve into the water. It's kind of like one of those like level up moments for Egwene. This kind of feels like that too. Like she's being put in white, her hair is being unbraided instead of braided. Like she's coming out. She's about to be another level of Egwene finally,
Yeah, in the book she unbraided her own hair.
Yeah.
If you remember.
Yeah, no, voluntarily. Yeah, she's like, I want to.
So this is a whole different level. You're absolutely right. She's definitely evolved. An evolution for her.
Fizzlegig, that's a perfect way to phrase it, is by unbraiding her hair, like you see in this image, they're literally taking her womanhood. It's like, that is the symbol of womanhood in the Two Rivers, and by getting rid of it, they're insulting her and dehumanizing her and violating her womanhood. And so I feel like, I don't know if non-book readers, I know they probably felt the whole scene in that way, but I don't know if non-book readers felt the unbraiding of the hair in the same way as all the book readers did. And maybe they did, because the show did a really good job of emphasizing how important the braid is, but like, I don't, as a book reader, I was like, you better not touch that braid until she wants to unbraid it, you know what I mean? Imagine them doing that to Nynaeve, like, yeah, so, it's, yeah. This scene was annoying.
It was super horrible. Yeah. Not a big fan of that scene.
But it did lead into some pretty exciting stuff. Let me just pull up the next image we have in the old Google Drive, because it's one of my favorites from the entire episode. This is a great shot, Tavern. You pulled this one of Perrin and his golden eyes. It's like spectacular. Oh wow, Kevin Baconator, white cloaks, more like butt cloaks. Am I right?
Close.
You got him.
You are right.
You got him.
You're right.
Yeah, we're getting there, Hazel. That's one of my favorite scenes too. But yes, we finally got Perrin's golden eyes. I know a lot of people were waiting, and people are speculating, because the golden eyes went away after he sort of went out of Hulk mode, if they're gonna come in and out whenever he like reaches out and like goes into a rage. Like, what, Tavern? You look like you have thoughts. What do you think about that?
Okay, so I have I said this yesterday. I have a whole thing on Perrin. It started off with the scratches on his leg and the wolf licking his leg, and then we had the hearing incident before they when they met the Tuathan, which was a slow introduction to that. Well, actually, they got chased by the wolves first, the hearing bit, and now this, and the imagery of Perrin, one with a muzzle,
Yeah.
and then later on when it gets taken down, it looks like a collar.
Oh wow.
Him.
Look at that imagery.
So
Everywhere.
So, yeah, my whole thing was I was worried that they were gonna try to explain this off as a werewolf type trope. I'm still a little worried about it because his eyes should. Well, I'm just saying, not that he's gonna turn into a wolf. That because throughout this whole thing, throughout his whole torture, all you're hearing in the background are wolves going off.
Yeah.
There's wolf howls everywhere, and the moment they start cutting into him and he starts screaming, they get louder. So there was just this weird thing, and I'm hoping that his eyes turn golden permanently. I'm not a big fan of the in and out, and when he finally did break free, or Egwene busted him free, turned him into what kind of looked like a mindless, you know. It was like
he had just been tortured. To his credit, come on.
But he was growling. He was growling and walking like he was stiff-legged.
He's finding that instinct. Like he's leaning into that instinctual
I'm hoping
side.
you're all
I
right.
think what we're seeing.
Yeah.
I love it. I love what they're doing. I just hope it gets a little bit better.
To be fair, I don't know. Is anybody else a Letterkenny fan? Because
we watched.
okay, so whenever I say to be fair, I always think like to be fair. They always like do this stupid chorus. Forget it. It's a stupid thing.
Beautiful.
It's a funny ass show, though.
But
Keep doing it.
in the book, I will. In the books, Perrin does have times where he finds himself growling, and then he's like, "Oh, what am I doing?" You know what I mean? I'm a human. Stop it, Perrin. So there's that, and I think that's a good way to put it, Kevin Mudweiler. It's young Bull taking his first steps. Maybe it'll be Perrin Goldeneyes, and like he it's like one of those things where a light that right whenever you turn it on, sometimes it'll like flicker, and then eventually it'll go on. It'll be on forever. Maybe that's what the eyes are gonna be. Like now it's just like baby young Bull, and he's flicker, you know what I mean? And then eventually flicker. Eventually it'll be solid. Maybe. I guess we'll see.
I think we've given memes some work to do. Flicker.
Wait, so we've got people saying there's a high pitched tone when Valda was cutting into Perrin.
Wine almost?
Yes.
Fizzlegig DMCA for the To Be Fair song incoming.
I saw that.
Thank you. I'm so accurate. Sorry, it made me laugh. I love Letterkenny.
Name is in. Hi. Oh, and Vixen. Let me say hi to them.
Okay, say hi to them. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Goldeneyes. All right, we have more photos from this. We should keep talking. I need to change my stream setup. You guys may notice that sometimes I like cross the thing, and you can see the cursor across their faces.
I love it when that happens.
Once again, I'm a professional, and this is a professional stream.
Nothing but high value stuff on the stream.
I'm gonna switch it around eventually. Pros. So yeah, so people are saying there is, I guess, a whistling sound that happens while Valda's cutting into Perrin here. So yes, Fizzlegig, I did catch the whistling in Tar Valon, and I was gonna talk about it in conjunction with who else we saw in Tar Valon, but we're not there yet. So
are we thinking it's the same kind of whistle? Is that what?
No. The whistle.
Okay, I didn't think it was.
I think the whistle here is a whine, like a when a dog gets hurt, or
really?
Maybe. I mean,
Not like the wind howling kind of thing.
No. It definitely wasn't our favorite whistler.
Not that either.
Fizzlegig disagrees with you, but I need to listen to it again because I don't remember what it sounded like, honestly. Oh wait, no, never mind. Fizzlegig has retracted their statement. Forget it. Immediate retraction.
Forgiven.
Yeah, totally forgiven.
I was about to say, man, I missed him in this freaking scene. Damn.
No, I'll have to rewatch, and I wonder if it is like a dog whining noise. That would be kind of cool to have like that overlay to give us like more, you know, yeah, it's like a dog whistle, says Hazel Aja.
Interesting.
He has to bleed to call the wolves, thinks MK Genist. That's interesting. Oh, because he was like bleeding out of his leg, and they showed up. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't hate that theory.
Maybe in dire need of something because he was bleeding, of course, in the leg when they were on the plains.
Yeah.
They were more in dire need and suffering.
It leads into the title, Blood Calls Blood.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh,
possible.
wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't
Mhm.
like the title at all because I was like, what does that have to do with anything? Literally, I was kind of annoyed about it.
Everything on that episode is blood
I know.
calling blood.
I guess
There's
in my
some-
mind, the books, the chapter that's Blood Calls Blood is completely
Gotcha,
unrelated
gotcha,
to
gotcha.
anything.
Wait
that
a minute.
happens
When
in
we
the-
get to the tower conversation,
yeah.
there's a theory that I saw that bring up about Blood Calls Blood.
Ooh. Okay. We'll
Can't
get
wait
there.
to hear
We'll
it.
get
That'll
there.
be fun. Yeah.
My theory,
Um,
but it was interesting.
So we got Egwene. Here, my next photo that I just pulled up is our baby channeler. And only in the sense that, assuming this was her best effort, which it seems like it was,
Big missile.
she got a little missile, and the missile did nothing. It fizzled, as they say, in the gaming.
It was so cool, though.
It was
cool.
really exciting.
So cool.
And maybe she knew that she wasn't going to be powerful enough, and so that was like her distraction, for the
Yeah.
other thing
Yeah,
that
because she was
doing.
burning the ropes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think so,
instead.
yeah.
Mhm.
The one thing I was wondering is like it literally that fireball hit him and then just like vanished, like gone. And
Yeah,
so,
what's up with that?
what is up with that? Like, do they have like a Terran Grial that's helping them catch these Aes Sedai? That's like one kind of far fetched because they're White Cloaks theory that I have. Because otherwise, how the F are they being so effective, right? Aes Sedai are supposed to be really powerful. Meme, do you think that there's a Terran Grial involved, or what's going on with that?
I think I think it was just she was either distracting him or she knew, like you said, she knew she couldn't do anything like super big. Even if she did like a really big fireball, what if she hit Perrin? She could have been worried about him.
That's fair.
So,
That's fair.
Yeah, that's kind of what my thoughts are on it.
Do you have a theory of how they've captured like 7 other Aes Sedai before this?
I don't know. They need to explain that in the show for sure, but I have no theories.
Fair enough.
Mhm.
Terran Grial is my theory. Or they're
Yeah,
just,
I agree with you on that. I think they have something, that's alerting them when there's channeling, at least around them happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a theory about steadings, which I'm not so sure about, like an empty steading or something, that they might have been trapping these women in, but Aes Sedai, well, unless they didn't know. I've heard that Terangirl, that he might have the wolf head medallion.
Yeah,
or
that's
ox head
kind of
medallion. Or
related.
whatever. I honestly think this was her first time attempting this.
Yeah.
That maybe she didn't have the confidence
Yeah.
behind her.
Mhm.
That's my thought. But still amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked that Nynaeve got this huge explosion thing, and there's all this praise for Nynaeve from people that are watching. Egwene is sitting here tied up, and she gets a little sparkler out of her hand.
Yeah.
I think it should have been a little bit more grand than that, but still, the fact that she did this on her own without any training,
Yeah.
is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's
Right.
super
Yeah.
impressive. And Nimhe Thrill, I was actually going to say this, like, them having a Terran Grial that's like the Foxhead Medallion, which I'm not going to explain because we avoid book spoilers on this stream. Them having a Terran, like, that seems very unlikely because that would be incredibly OP. Nimhe Thrill, though, has a similar theory to my like more reasonable theory, which is that the White Cloaks exploit the Three Oaths. They know, like, as long as I don't put these Aes Sedai at risk of death, they can't use the one power as a weapon against me. So they kind of manipulate situations up to being able to cut off their hands, because it looks like a lot of the Tower Aes Sedai were trained to like require hand movements for a lot of their channeling. And once they have them trapped without threatening their lives, then they can do things like cut off their hands so they can't channel anymore. That would be really smart, and I'm used to the White Cloaks being kind of doofuses, so
Yeah. I don't want to give them that much
I
credit.
don't want to give them that much credit,
Yeah.
but I think it's a possible explanation.
Actually, he
So-
actually explained the hand gestures.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, he did.
Talked about that. Oh, he
did.
goes, one of them told me once that they didn't need to use their hands, but they were trained that, and so it's like a crutch or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is
He's been
interesting.
studying, obviously.
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah.
Well,
He's been torturing, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Winespring and I, we know what's going on. Like, it's not studying; it's something more sinister.
Speaking of,
Uh,
so did y'all notice the
studying.
weave? Did you notice the weave when she starts pulling comes in from the left and she shoots it from her right hand? She directs
Yes.
it from her right hand. Just going to point that out one more time. Which is very cool.
I did see that. Yes.
Yes.
I think
Important,
the
you
theory
guys.
that Egwene doing this is like not a real, she probably knew she wasn't powerful enough because she's not. Well, even in the books, Nynaeve was further along than she was as far as like channeling goes. Nynaeve was like a more fully developed Wilder without knowing she's actually channeling. Egwene was she hadn't really had her, she hadn't really done much with the one power. I don't think anything actually. And so this makes sense that she would not be as far along as Nynaeve. So her doing the little tiny flame and then secretly burning out the robes was actually really amazing, especially because in the books, you'll know that doing multiple weaves at once is difficult. And so doing that as a complete noob is very impressive, in my opinion.
Yes.
So
Man, that moment when she just closes her eyes and she's just like, drift. Just drift. I mean, it was like full body chills, y'all. That was wild.
I was thinking
She
Fast
stepped
and the
right
Furious.
into it.
Well, and it came
Fast and
back.
Furious Tokyo Drift.
Wow, nice Tavern. That was also a callback to the first scene
Exactly.
in the first episode, which some people have recently called into question on TikTok. And I'm not going to get into that because it's been a bit of a flame war for the last 24 hours. But yeah.
Which scene?
But they question, the Two Rivers. Ceremony, the river, the
Women's
river ceremony.
circle ceremony.
Yeah.
River ceremony. Yep.
But we got a callback to that just this episode, where literally Egwene used that in order to embrace the source. So, I mean, good for her, man. She's a learner, if nothing else. So
There's one thing that you can say about her is knowledge comes to her, and learning. It's her one of her biggest traits.
Yeah.
It really is.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we got Perrin here with his collar coming.
The collar, yeah.
With the golden eyes, a very exciting scene. But the ultimate victor in this fight was our girl Egwene. Sorry, I'm pulling it up. This was the I think the biggest moment for me in the whole episode. I yelled. I was excited. What about you, Winespring? Did you also yell?
Oh yeah. I was like, girl, go. I thought she like really got him too. I was like, oh, he's dead. They're just gonna get rid of him. Which of course, I know better. I know better. But
Okay,
they
so
gave me what I
Winespring-
wanted there for just a moment.
Winespring thinks he's still alive. Do you guys similar?
Oh, he's
Thumbs
totally
up, thumbs
still
down?
alive.
He's totally still
For
alive.
sure.
For
They
sure.
showed him like on the ground, like, that
He wasn't
hurt.
dead.
Yeah.
He wasn't dead.
He's gonna need a band-aid, but yeah,
Yeah.
he'll be alive.
Yeah, he's totally still alive.
Oh yeah.
She shoved that dagger.
She went
Great.
for it. I mean, usually.
Yeah, but how big was it?
True.
If it was the knife, it was probably about 6 inches.
Yeah,
A
he
6-inch blade.
he's the only one that's seen Perrin with his golden eyes, so I agree that he's definitely alive. Because
Yeah.
in the books
Yeah.
there is a history that I will not get into between the White Cloaks and Perrin and how much they hate him. So I feel
They
like
really
this scene was the birth of that whole animosity, which I'm
Yeah.
It's like the first time you see Valda like surprised at all, taken aback by
Exactly.
anything. Like fears never displayed ever by him until that moment with
Surprised
Perrin.
and scared.
He dropped his
pride
guard.
hurts. Yeah, his pride has to
completely.
just be super injured. Poor little guy.
for sure. Nicole skates.
Nicole-
I love that his freak out was satisfying. You're right. I was like, get him! Literally,
Yes.
I was growling
Go,
like
go,
Perrin,
go.
so it's more realistic than you guys think.
I am calling out
Growling my parents.
I was like, get him!
Calling
Like,
out.
literally.
Rah.
Egwene's first stabby.
Oh yeah, there it
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
She's
yes.
dead. She's got
One for Egwene.
It's
It's gonna be a
4-1.
good list.
Nynaeve,
gonna be
Nynaeve to
good.
Egwene.
Are you gonna make a website like stabbystabby.com or something?
I could. There's one
Okay.
thing holding me back though. Super lazy.
Oh, okay. I was like, the FBI? I'm like, what's going on?
Fits you actually. We know how much work you do.
Okay, so then we can run out of the tent. We got a couple more photos for this whole scenario. We've got the wolves by the horses.
Oh, I love this because the horses are not freaking out, you guys.
No.
There's wolves everywhere. There's blood.
Freaking out. So the wolves are cool. They're all cool.
Wolves are super chill, guys.
You should go pet one right
They just
now.
put a really good vibe,
They
you know?
do.
The wolves have a great vibe. The horses are not concerned.
I completely agree.
Listen, we should all go out and give a wolf a hug right now.
The wolves pass the vibe
Bring
check.
a steak.
Bring a steak.
Especially this wolf, which, okay, we've got a little caption on it. Is it Hopper?
Yes, of course.
Loading up. Hold on.
So
Oh,
yeah,
let
we
me
have a wolf
refresh.
growling. And I think everyone that has read the books is wondering, there's a specific wolf that we're not going to explain from the books. His name is Hopper, and he's a recurring character. And I want this to be him because I would love that we have seen Hopper before.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, is Twitch locked up for anybody?
It's just started spinning just now for me.
It is for me, yeah.
It's locked
It looks
up.
like
see, let
it's
me
come
see.
up.
Even the ad was.
Vibe, you know?
It's
It's
live for
going
me.
Yeah, it's going now.
Okay.
Going
Roger
back up.
that.
I don't see the Hopper picture though. We're a little bit further behind than normal.
Oh, okay. That is probably
gonna be fun.
the problem.
It's gonna be fine.
We are looking at Hopper right now, hopefully. Oh, whoops.
Mhm.
I forgot.
I see it.
You guys could see
think
what I was seeing. That's fine.
Here you go.
This is Hopper. I was checking.
This
the
is how
stream.
this goes,
It's like
okay?
a stream within a stream, but anyways,
Is it
we have
Hopper or is it not?
question mark in the chat. Let us know. Do you think it's Hopper? Hopper. Nicole Skate says yes.
Makes sense.
I also
I
think
hope so.
this close up of the wolf really emphasizes that Perrin's eyes were the same color as the wolf's eyes, just in case anyone didn't realize what was going on.
Just in case.
Just in case.
the song.
Now we know.
He's got parents, golden eyes.
There you go.
Um,
Nice. Very nice.
Yep. Very exciting.
What is now I'm looking at the stream.
Yeah, well,
Finally-
that was a mistake of mine because I'm a professional. Yes, Hopper is Hopper, Hopper. He is a wolf from the books. That shows up kind of a lot, and so we're curious if this is him. Hazel Child thinks it's Hopper. I hope so.
I
Every
hope you're
single
right.
wolf that
Yeah.
pops up, I'm gonna get a screenshot of and put Hopper with a question mark next to it.
Every single wolf. I
Yeah.
love that.
Single
We
one.
should check out the wolves and do some comparisons and see where this one was.
Kevin,
You know.
We're trying, Kevin. We're trying not
Kevin
to cross
Von-
the streams.
Don't cross the streams, you guys.
Yeah, and
Oh my god.
to add to this, like
You win.
he doesn't have blood on his mouth or anything, so he wasn't attacking anyone. It's like he
Oh,
was running
bleeding.
around making sure
Mhm.
stuff was happening.
Like
Maybe.
bleeding. Yeah, a little
We
bit of
got
a
the wolves
leader
here.
wolf.
Eating.
All right.
Mhm.
So
I like
Ear
that.
wolfing.
leader wolfin. That's what you just said. Oh my god.
Perfect. Why
You're
not?
welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right. So we get Tarvalin. We've seen Tarvalin before, but I am so happy with the fact that, first of all, the Wheel of Time account tweeted high-res desktop photos, which I will be
Yes.
using, that include this image, more or less, or this exact image, because it looks really familiar. I think it looks gorgeous. I think they did such a good job with this whole
I
layout.
put so much work into that.
So much work.
Question.
What?
So much work.
Question.
What's the question?
One, Tarvalin. I love Tarvalin, even though it wasn't headcanon. Still gorgeous.
Uh-huh.
Two, Dragon Mount in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Scale of it is compared to the city. That it's even bigger than the city at that distance is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question though was, and Rand says, "I think I've seen it before. That mountain. I think I've seen it before."
Mm.
I
What could that mean?
don't grasp that at all. I honestly, in my brain, I'm like, how, where,
At what point?
where could, at what point would you have seen this damn mountain?
I mean, we've gotten some weird
Interesting.
dreams. We haven't seen him
True.
have that dream,
Hmm.
but maybe that's what
It's possible.
you
Yeah.
know.
Maybe that's the way of
Okay.
telling us about it.
I did think that he might have seen it in a dream, but I'm like, they haven't shown it to us, so I don't.
True. It's just mildly sus at this point, right? It's just
It's sus.
Mild sus.
Mild sus. Like, let's just put a little little pin in that,
I like
and
And Rand is going to be a green player because he's got a green cloak, so green player is sus.
there you go. Yep, that's it. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to that city structure.
It's beautiful though.
I love that the island looks like it's shaped how it's supposed to be shaped. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, and
I don't understand. What are you talking about? The shape?
Yeah, the shape of the island.
It's a beautiful shape. It's a lovely, almost diamond but rounded shape. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I thought maybe you'd want to talk more about it.
No, I don't think I will.
Okay.
I don't want to get the stream pulled, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Let's put it
Just
that way.
kidding. Don't do it. Just messing around.
I will say that they're always comparing Lord of the Rings with or time with Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those things where you have lake, the town on the lake next to the Lonely Mountain.
Mm.
It's a very similar scenario.
That's true. That's a good point. I love that. Well, we know that Tolkien was kind of an inspiration for at least the first book. So that makes a lot of sense.
It's literally throughout.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna get into it now, but yeah, it's literally throughout the whole books. You'll see little similarities everywhere. It's cool.
Yeah. So we've got Rand and Matt. They're in Tarvalon, right?
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Yes.
Rand and Matt. Does anybody see anything weird in this picture? I feel like
That lady's got a weird hat on.
Yeah. I don't know. It's such a weird little photo we've got there. Matt looks horrible. And
Fizzle, you gonna pull it out now? You gonna say it? He was talking about it earlier.
yeah, there's somebody in this photo, and I'm not gonna keep you guys in suspense because you can see my little cursor here. But what do we got right here? I think that's a Pad and Fane, and I'm pretty sure we heard the whistling.
Definitely heard.
Pretty sure. I mean, we 100%.
Actually came in like the whistling came in slightly after this shot where they show his arm. Yeah.
Yes, I did not notice they were on the wrong side of the river either. Somebody made that comment. I did not. My sense of direction is negative.
They were coming in from the
That's a
east.
good point.
So
Crazy.
And I don't know if that's true based on the new map, because this is the new map. The one on the Prime Video extra is slightly different from the normal, like the book map. So is it true for the book map but not the show map? I don't know. I'd have to look.
So before this image happens, as they're entering the gates, it's Matt and Rand. That moment where Rand purchases something to eat is one of my favorite Rand moments so far, because it really shows like how he is out and experiencing this time of travel, like he is all about it. He's like, I don't know what it is, but it's good. Do you want to try it? And it's just such a wonderful like characteristic to see being like put out there for Rand.
He paid for that.
I like that. He did pay for it. Yeah, he pays for it.
His other hand kind of slipping.
I thought he said, "Can I have one of those?" And it was like his Tavern shit kicking in, and
it
was
like grab it with his right hand, pay with his left. I kept my eyes peeled.
I see
on my second watch.
See what was there. She
I did too.
Pay attention to the hands again.
Always with the hands.
Yes, you have to watch the hands, you guys. I think it's a big deal on the show.
Sith Master. They have a new map. It's very similar to the book map, but it's a little different. So I would check
some
it out.
changes. Oh wait, Nicole called it out.
Oh, that Fane was
in the background.
It's Fane. It's
Very
not
nice.
a fade. Dear God, there's not a fade in the background.
Pad and Fane.
No.
No. Okay, I was like, wow, did we all miss that? Yeah, Kritter Jay, the night the fade rode in alone, there was whistling, and the whistling with the fade bled into the Fane riding in, because Fane was whistling. So I feel like all the whistling in the show so far has related to Fane that in one way or the other.
Arlagoth.
Yeah, there's whistling.
It's almost confirmation. Episode 2.
Yeah.
The whistling in Shadar Lagoth should have been him. He had to have been in there.
Sure seemed like it.
Fizzle kick. It was a Costco sampler platter. You get to Tarvalon and you're immediately enter Costco. It's like what is that Idiocracy? Like, welcome to Costco. I love you. Sorry,
So
I have a
good.
lot of random pop
So
culture
good.
references.
Great movie. That's a great movie.
It's a great movie. All right, I changed. All right, so let's see. We've got another. Let's just like go through our Fane sightings while we're at it, so we can talk about other stuff. But we've got
Knock that
Fane
out.
again. In case you missed it, here he is again. Do you see him? I got
Part
distracted. Part 2. I got distracted by the novices. Did you guys?
I didn't see him at all. I was paying attention to the novices. Didn't see him.
Yeah.
So this is the image where he's sitting around cages, right?
Yes.
Yeah, bird cages.
Okay, that is like huge to me with the whistling and considering like him, cages, birds, with the whole coal mine thing. When they whistle, there's danger nearby. Like, watch out,
That I didn't know.
There's just a lot happening with cages and Pad and Fane when they showed that to me.
You are.
Interesting.
I mean, to us.
You're a symbology queen. I love how you like see
Yeah.
things and relate them to 17 other things. Like it's actually very impressive. Caleb, this is the first time you noticed him. Well, you're welcome. That's what we're here
we go. Yes.
You saw it
Yes.
first on the Wheel and Chill show. Oh, sorry, Tavern, go ahead.
Meme said something yesterday when we were doing a pre-show. I noticed it today when I was watching because one, like I said, I missed him first. I went back and looked for him and see what happened when he at the end of this shot of him. What was that meme? Do you recall?
He just kind of snickers. I think you even hear him go like almost giggle or
Yes.
something.
This is
Yeah.
weird. And then he like it's like this
Yeah.
weird.
It kind of
It's
leads
creepy.
into that whole like the arrogance too, almost a little
Yeah.
bit.
Oh, yeah, he's
with that
super
little
arrogant.
chuckle. Yeah.
The last time we saw him, he was also leaving. When the Trollocs were attacking, so he's like,
He's smiling then too.
Mhm.
yeah. He's like, I'm out.
Always with the
Yeah, when he
smile.
smiles, we should be concerned.
Mhm.
Did we talk about Egwene being dressed as a novice with Velda? No, we didn't mention that, but yeah, it was
I
interesting.
love that.
I figured they put her in white because of the children and their pure
Mhm,
BS.
purity.
Purity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their
It
purity.
looked like a ceremony, like a wedding ceremony almost.
Which is why,
Yeah.
which is why they scrubbed her down and did all of this stuff.
Yeah, but you're not wrong. Like novices wear white too, so that's interesting
good.
how those two things can be like kind of compared. Like
Ooh,
you might, if you're being
yeah.
questioned by the White Cloaks, you're gonna look like a novice from the White Tower. And how weird is that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talk about
I love
students
that,
in the
actually.
students in the hallway, in the corridors, because
In white?
No, well, not only that, but I looked at the scene three times, and somebody's saying, "Oh, there was a well-dressed, woman with them." Nope. For novices out in Tarvalon, which, again, differs from folks that are not allowed to leave the tower. We know this. It's not that big a deal. I don't think that's a spoiler. But they were just wandering around the city, which I thought was cool that they showed them.
Mm-hmm.
They actually do bow when the procession comes by. I actually have a screenshot of that
Mhm.
too.
Yes. Yeah.
They bow to the sisters as they walk by, but there was not a sister with them, which I thought was kind of surprising.
That we know of, there's not a sister. with
I didn't
them.
see one. Yeah, I didn't see one.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, here we go. We got.
I have
the
a
bow,
feeling
sorry.
that they got it.
there might have been, but I honestly did not see one.
Mm-hmm.
So does the White
I have
Ajah
good eyes.
like their time as a novice? Basically, the White Ajah is actually the smallest Ajah, so they don't get many of them. But maybe they're just very fond of their time.
Yeah, the White Eye should become drummers for all the other sisters.
There you go.
Some more novices in the background, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of
You
novices.
see them way in the back over there.
Unless they're accepted, because somebody in the chat did say this, and I did see some screenshots
Possible.
on Twitter where they accepted don't wear gray dresses. People think that they're wearing white dresses, but they have bands at the bottom of the dress and they have a ring. So they could maybe,
okay.
if we're just missing the bands, maybe they're accepted. I'm not sure.
Well, it could
I
be.
was when you said bands, I thought about the bands on the arms too.
Yeah.
They
That's
had on the
very
arms and the bottom
noticeable.
of the dress. Yeah,
True.
those are all white
Such a
though,
great
right?
shot.
The straps
Yeah.
around their arms. Are you saying?
I think
They
so.
were
They were
White too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool shot though.
It is a cool shot. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so that was
Yeah.
fun, and let's actually talk about the big news, the huge news from this episode, which is that we got our boy Loyal. Pulling it up.
Yay!
Yay! Yay! I think he did so. Hobbit did so good as Loyal. He was perfect.
He did
his,
amazing.
His voice,
Perfect.
like his teeth. I don't know what they did with them, but it was incredible.
Yeah, they were big. Yeah.
He was really wide, which is good because the ears are supposed to be really big. Tavern, how did you feel about it?
Unless you put me on the spot in front of all of these people. I have referred to, one, the acting was superb.
Yep.
Acting was superb. I have no issues with the acting. Overall, the makeup itself, I can live with it. An issue with the height. I seriously have an issue with the height. I mean, we got Trollocs that were amazing, and we got Rista Hagrid here. I was kind of upset about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Nobody shoot me in the chat.
So your
Did you say
biggest,
hipster Hagrid?
Yeah, hipster. Your
Biggest
biggest
thing really
issue
was the height.
for
was
you was the height.
Yeah, other than that, I perfectly okay. His acting was incredible. The makeup was, fine. I get it. I missed the ears.
Mhm.
Upset about the ears a little bit, but it's not, the hair. I know people are having issue with the hair, but the height was my biggest issue.
More
What was your biggest issue, Kritter?
I'll admit it. Like I hope Loyal gets a haircut before next season. I don't like the wig. I don't understand it. And part of me is like they did it because they wanted him to look a little taller, which is fair because they didn't give him stilts or whatever. and Loyal's supposed to be big.
That's like a foot. It's like a foot of curls right there.
What a girls.
It's
Yeah.
a
So
lot
I like
of-
the hair.
Okay, that's totally
Okay.
fair.
I'm gonna tell you why I like the
Bring
hair,
it
not
on.
just because of the height. Like, when I see it, I see someone that was in a hurry. They have not put a lot of care in their hair. Like, it's.
Okay.
I mean, I love the part. I love the bigness, but his character is supposed to be, you know, a little hasty, you know, and so he's
True.
not gonna put so much into what he's putting on or grooming even or that kind of thing. He doesn't look dirty at all, like not at all. But maybe it's a hasty do.
Okay. See,
You
Kritter
trying to say
J,
that
I
he
think
didn't watch Legally Blonde and pay attention to the perm
the
rules?
I don't think
sodium
he would enjoy that
thiglocolate.
one,
No, I don't
no.
think he would enjoy it.
sodium thioglycolate or whatever.
Wait, no, I don't think he did.
No, I don't think it did either. Let me
No.
just okay. So I think like just to talk about Tavern's thing, like, the height didn't bother me at all because he did look big. He looked inhuman because he was
Yeah,
really
he looked
wide.
big.
His hands were really big, and that was great for me. I also and I'm just to respond to some people in the chat. I thought his acting was a 10 out of 10. I think his voice
Oh, for sure.
reminded me of
100%.
Michael Kramer in the audiobooks, which I also saw in the chat, which made it even better for me because I loved how Michael Kramer does Loyal in the audiobooks, and I feel like Hamid did his research maybe and was like, this is the way, you know, he really nailed it, so I'm gonna do the same thing. And so yeah,
I need to hear some singing though.
I would love to hear some singing. I just
I
think
need to
needs
hear
to
some
sing.
singing real bad.
I
He needs to
just
sing.
I just want him to have a haircut. And you know what? I did say this in the YouTube video that I made that hasn't come out yet because I'm a mess. But it's coming out tomorrow on my YouTube channel. I think that you could give him some Tumnus ears, like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. They had James McAvoy. He had like Tumnus just had these non-moving ears sticking out of his wig. And they were tufted, you know what I mean? And like, so if you just like plop those on, it would just be even more Loyal. So that's my completely unlearned.
Cut the hair down, add the ears.
Yeah, cut the hair,
Oh.
add the ears, and I'm happy as a clam. I'm already happy as a clam. That's just my one complaint is the hair. I don't love it.
The thing
Yeah,
that makes the
I-
hair worse of all is the side part.
Hey,
No,
Winespring
I
likes
love
the
that.
Winespring likes the
Oh.
side part.
It looks
The side part
super
makes
cool.
it worse. It makes it worse.
Like when I
I mean, if
first,
I ran into him, I'd be like, cool, let's hang.
You
For
seem
sure.
you
I would
seem
not
like
be
a
like,
chill.
your hair is so not
Bring
cool.
any wolves for us to hug. Look out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and people in the chat are talking about this, and I want to agree with that. Like, I love the lines and the acting and the delivery and all that stuff, and the fact that he
God.
just like rambled in the background, like whenever Rand and Nynaeve
Yes.
reunited, and he's just like talking about how Ogiers have access to the gardens and all this other stuff. Just
It's
like
vital what he's saying, y'all.
it's so funny.
It's very important.
I loved it. I loved it.
He rambled on. It was amazing.
I love him. He's amazing. And my one complaint about his hair is nothing to how much I love him. And that's all I want to say. Don't get mad at me. It's just Loyal can get a haircut very easily.
it had a little too much carrot top for me.
Somebody
Yeah.
actually
I love
pointed
it,
out something
but
else. Yeah. Oh yeah, carrot
It's a
top.
I
little
immediately
red.
thought of carrot top. Yeah.
That's a good point.
No shit. Actually, you're right. Somebody else pointed out the eyebrows. We didn't get
Yeah.
the long droopy eyebrows that come down to his cheeks and stuff. That would have been cool.
They are pretty long though, so I think
Oh,
I want to
yeah.
give the makeup
They're bushy.
artist major props on the whole look.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
Me too.
Did he have a beard?
they have mustaches.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have a full
Mhm.
beard. If I'm,
I remember him having a beard in the books.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Nimhithrill. I think it's important to note that at the beginning of the scenes, Rand was reading the Karaethon cycle.
Yes.
I don't think we have a photo of that.
That's right.
But
Oh, he was looking at it. Yeah.
yeah. But any of you all who are, well, you might have gathered that the Karaethon cycle had a dragon on it, and those are actually the prophecies of the dragon. So that's fun. That's cool. Yeah, that was the thing that we saw today or the other day when we watched the episode. And that's it. All right. So let's see. What else are we going to talk about here? Oh, Rand
So
and
with
Matt.
Loyal, he doesn't say hasty. What did he say again? He
Frivolous.
said
Frivolous.
He said
Frivolous.
You humans are so frivolous. Like he
Frivolous.
should have said hasty. but that's fine. That was my like Winespring in the first episode was mad because what happened?
Bread. Bread instead of honey cakes.
Right.
Bread.
Good call, Fizzle. Oh, where's the explosion? Damn, I forgot to give you an explosion.
And so my explosion moment was whenever I wanted Loyal to say the word hasty, and instead he said frivolous. And I don't know if they
Maybe
were.
they're
What do you think?
maybe they're saving Hasty for some other scene where you're gonna be like, yeah, Maybe they're saving it.
There you
Possible.
go.
Maybe
Let's see what happens.
that would make sense.
Maybe they'll do that with honey cakes.
I feel like they're doing the same thing with Nynaeve's braid though, because we haven't gotten a good braid tug either. And it's either they're saving it or they're trying to avoid like people who
We
read
got a
the
skirt
books.
smoothing.
Yeah.
Did you
We
see
got
the
a hair
skirt
tug.
smoothing?
We got a hair tug.
I mean, I know
though.
we got
At
a
the
hair
funeral?
grasp,
Or
right?
like a flip.
Oh, I guess at the
Yeah.
beginning of the show when she was at the
Mm-hmm.
when they were burying Karini, she was holding onto her braid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. It wasn't a tug.
Yeah.
You're right.
I completely agree, Caleb. Like, I think Rand looking at the book is totally normal because Moraine's like, one of you guys is the Dragon Reborn. And as far as Rand's concerned, it's looking more and more like it's Matt because Matt is in some rough situation right now.
Man, he is looking so bad right now, you guys. It's heartbreaking to see it.
Yeah.
I know.
Especially when he like looks up at Nynaeve and like almost looks like childlike. Like his mom just arrived to like make him feel better.
We have that. We have that screenshot where she's touching his head.
Yeah.
Underneath on the right side, you barely see it, but you see his hand holding her arm. Like, are you real?
Aw.
Yeah.
Which was just amazing. Yeah, it's a good shot.
Because they had no idea that she was alive. Last they heard, she was dragged away by a Trolloc, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
a big surprise.
Exactly.
Someone you love is alive, like gasp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hug
big
between
deal.
her and Rand was amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're not there yet. Jeez. Currently, we
I'm
have a
so
photo.
sorry.
We have a photo pulled up. Rand Matt overlooking Logain, and I think this was a really good call out to a scene in the books where it's just Rand, but Rand is up on a wall looking from a distance at Logain, and he thinks Logain looks at him. This is a thing from the books, and I was really happy to see that kind of like, even though it's not the same, it was clearly some kind of reference to that exact thing. So yeah, that's I just wanted to point that out before we move on. I love that scene.
That's the scene where they talk to each other and basically admit, tell each other we'll watch out for each other, which is they're from the books as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means they're really buying into the fact that one of the 5 of them, or 4 at this point, they don't know about Nynaeve, but one of the 5 of them is going to be the Dragon Reborn, maybe.
Which is a
So
huge
they're really
change.
leaning into that, yeah.
It's a huge change for Matt because up to this point, Matt's been making fun of the whole thing.
Yeah, he
Not
really
anymore.
has. Everybody
now
in
for
the
him
chat
to
is
say,
saying
yeah.
they said the word hasty, and now I have to rewatch. Oh no.
Where? Do we have a time?
I don't know. They're
We
saying,
need a timestamp.
They're saying that after
me
Rand
now.
leaves, he says Speely76 says after Rand leaves, Loyal says hasty. So we'll see. I'll have to watch
Thank you for
it.
that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is the scene you guys were talking about with Nynaeve, and you're right. Matt does have his arm like reaching under her arm, grasping her. That's so sweet. Sith Master, you're right. If that's us, you'll kill me, right? Yeah, totally. And then Rand's like, me too, right? And Matt's like, God, what did he say? Like, no question or something like that.
Oh yeah. He said some
No doubt. Or something like that.
No
some
doubt.
fucked up shit, and Rand was like, eh.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Find it. I have it written down.
I don't like how he said that.
Yeah, I don't like how he said that either. All
Yeah,
right.
did not convince me.
We are not. Wait, we don't. Do we have an image of Logain? I don't even know. Did I miss that?
I did not get an
No, we
image
don't
of
have an
we
image of
didn't.
Logain. Okay, so yeah.
He's looking up from the cage.
Oh, Matt says you bet.
You
He
bet.
was like,
That's
"You bet."
it.
We did.
Didn't even look at him.
Which makes
Yeah.
sense because he's the gambler.
Mhm.
That's true. I thought that too.
Yeah.
You're right.
Good job, good
look at
job.
that. Okay, you're right. We shouldn't skip Logain because there is another thing we need to run past you guys, and that is I don't think Logain was actually doing the maniacal laughter. I think Matt, in a paranoid delusion, was seeing it, and that's why Rand was looking at him like, what the hell are you, why are you so freaked out right now? Do you guys agree with that take or disagree with that take?
Yes,
I
I
agree.
totally agree.
I found it odd that Rand kept looking down at Logain, then looking at Matt, and looking down and back.
Uh-huh.
But he could have just been reacting to Matt's face, like, "What are you looking at?" No.
Well,
I think there would have been more of a reaction from the crowd if Logain was maniacally laughing.
Yeah.
like that.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't.
There would have
think
been quite an uproar of fear, I think.
I think right after that whole thing where he's laughing, they show a shot where he's actually back to
Chilling in the
normal.
back.
Completely
Yeah.
normal in the cage. I
Mhm.
totally agree with that.
Oh, and about the cage too. I know people were like, "Where'd they get this cage from?"
that was
but when
me.
you see them, was it you? Well, Tavern was like, "Where'd they get that cage from?"
Like, did they have it was Costco.
But you notice when they're
Costco.
riding up, he's on a horse, and so when they get into town, there's another cage, and that's
Yeah.
when he is put into a cage. And I thought that was a good
Get
thing to
that,
note.
but when
maybe.
they put out the
point.
preview for the episode 5, didn't give us that information, so speculation ran wild.
Yeah, speculation did run wild. All right, so
All
also
right,
we need
all
to bring
right.
up the boot.
I'll give you that one.
Um,
I'll give you that one.
the crowd was really sad and upset whenever an empty horse rode past with a boot in it. For Karini's boot. Stepan was with the horse. Somebody in the chat brought it up, and we have this photo, so I thought I would pull it up. Interesting that they didn't bury her in her boots. I didn't think about that till just now.
Might have been an extra pair.
Might
of
have been
boots.
an extra pair of boots. Interesting that they had. I guess maybe this is a tradition.
Probably.
To
I mean, that makes
symbolize
sense.
a lost sister.
Oh, Tavern, you brought that up.
So
About the backwards boot
So
for
the
back-
backward boots, in modern day military tradition, symbolizes once a commander has passed, they turn the boots backwards and ride him at the front of the procession, or the boots at the front of the procession, so that he can look back on his troops one last time before they put him to rest. So that was just a fraction of the military
Wow.
trauma that they portrayed in this episode. I wouldn't say military, service members, military type trauma that our service members today kind of deal with. Plus, they had trauma for other people as well. But yeah, it was huge.
Wow.
That was a big scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
So somebody else commented. Oh, go ahead, Meme.
I was gonna say, I thought it was interesting, or it was cool to see Stefan, like, you know, obviously the boots on the horse, but Stefan was like caring for that horse that was hers.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it really showed like how much people in the Wheel of Time really care for horses. Obviously, we've got Bella and everything. And there's a scene just right after that where Lan's, not to skip too far ahead, but where Lan's asking Moraine, are you happy to be home? And she's like, home is the saddle. And she says some other things, but the first thing she says to reference home is the saddle. Like, two back-to-back things that are like really focusing on like horses and what they mean to people. That was really cool.
I like that.
Throughout the books, it's a huge thing about horses. One, it's their primary mode of travel, so they treat them like family almost.
And they're expensive too.
They're expensive, yeah.
It's not
Unless
cheap
you're
to
a
have
horse trader.
horse.
Unless you're a horse trader like Matt.
Oh yeah.
With a whole bunch of horses.
So somebody in the chat also mentioned the shallow graves at the beginning, and we didn't really talk about that, but I saw on Twitter somewhere that like an open air grave is a thing in some culture, and I don't know what. Somebody else mentioned in the chat earlier today that the candles on their bodies were meant to, I guess, eventually maybe burn them. Obviously, we didn't see that. So I don't know why they didn't bury them deeper with the one power at their fingertips. You have to assume that it's some kind of tradition, right? Like, that's the only explanation. Unless, it was a matter of time and strength. If they thought maybe there was a chance they were going to get attacked again, they wouldn't want to use all their strength in the one power.
That's a good point.
Maybe they didn't have much left over after such an insane battle.
Or we didn't see them pile rocks on them.
Or we didn't see them pile rocks on them. Yeah.
It's a possibility too. I don't know.
All kinds of possibilities, fam. There's
We'll say they look like a Fade's mouth.
the bodies. that's sad.
The bodies were arrayed circles like little teeth. We saw in episode 1. With the Fade.
And I guess
we did.
Just saying.
I know we don't have a shot of that one, that overhead shot. But another thing I noticed was like, there's kind of like if we do, but there's like a pattern. We've got the Aes Sedai and kind of a pattern of 4s in the middle, and then we've got some of the warders in a pattern. And the two people that are kind of out of like a pattern would be like Stefan and Nynaeve. So they were kind of like, just differently placed than the others. So I just thought that was interesting too.
Stefan was by
About that.
Karini's. Yeah, Stefan was by Karini's
Mhm.
brave,
Body. Mm-hmm.
and Nynaeve, I think, as an outsider, was just standing out of the way. But you're absolutely right.
Absolutely.
But she was
were
within the same circle as the warriors,
sort of,
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
She was on the
Yeah.
outside, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool imagery.
Look at who it is.
Yeah, it's Leal again. And wait, I'm done talking about Rand, more or less. If you guys are, I just wanted to show.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to
Let me
show another
see.
photo of Loyal because this was the scene where he was just kind of yammering
no.
on while everyone was reuniting. Yeah, we already talked
So
about
he
that
was
MJ
wrong.
Daniel Nynaeve's story about breakbone fever in the book. I kind of brought it up too early. I brought it up in the context of Egwene's like challenge this episode because she was talking about Egwene. That scene was so beautiful. Her retelling of it. I do have an image from that. I thought both actors did an incredible job. Right? Like, it's I don't know, did that do anything for you, Winespring? It is similar to a story we get about Egwene in the books. No?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it really shows just how close Nynaeve is with Egwene, because she kind of senses that she's assuming that her senses are telling her that Egwene's still alive, so they definitely have that connection. And, she's helped her walk into like womanhood, like not just survive, this fever, that she thinks she has or had, and got to be a part of her not drinking that tea, I'm sure, which she didn't go into. But her sitting down and like smoothing her skirts, like, oh, I am here to help you now, Rand. The wisdom is here. Let me bring you comfort about Egwene. I know you haven't seen her in a month, but let me tell you this story about how badass she is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Actually,
very cool.
I mean,
She started out by like telling Rand, like, you've done a really good job so far up to this point. And then like, kind of like you talked about in when she was washing in that episode, I think it was like season 2 or it was 1
Episode
or
2.
sorry, episode
Episode
1 or 2.
Oh,
yeah.
the sacred pool.
When she
Yeah,
was
when she was
Yeah, like
cleaning it.
she's
Cool, yeah.
very leadership, but yeah, she kind of like she praises what he's done so far, and she's like, I'm gonna like heal what I can, and kind of like takes control of the situation. Very leadership focused.
Yeah.
that
She has some
whole-
confidence too on being able to heal what she can too now.
Yeah,
Like, let's
True.
see what she's gonna heal,
Yeah.
y'all.
feel the
That
snap.
whole scene actually goes back to the books as well, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so she was saying that Egwene was almost 10. He's 5 years older than she is, roughly. So I would have put her around 15. And if I remember correctly, the story in the books was that was when Nynaeve's power first developing, and they believed that that's what healed Egwene, was her holding her hand throughout the night, opposed to what they said in this story, what she was saying in this story. So and that's not really saying, it's not really spoilers, because
We know they can channel now.
well, that
Yeah.
and the fact that
There you go.
if Moraine was telling Egwene, it's not the wind, you're not listening to the wind's listening to you, and we know that Nynaeve was doing it before Egwene, would naturally assume that she had the ability to channel as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was
So
a cool callback to the book.
everyone in the chat saying like, it was Nynaeve healing Egwene. It was Nynaeve healing Egwene. You're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I was thinking
I
that.
think you're right. The way she told it.
But also, don't forget the soup, you guys, at winespringcafe.com.
Yeah, definitely the soup, but also the one power. So
Also the one power.
both.
What power suit?
It could be both.
There you go.
Or was the breakbone fever Egwene's channeling sickness? Another good point.
That's what I thought it was.
She was
Was her
if she
channeling
was 10. I mean, when does it kick in? Isn't it puberty or something?
Yeah, so it could have been 10.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Depends
Yeah,
on-
it's true for women. Yeah,
Yeah.
We don't know.
True.
We don't know. We don't know. It could have been, yeah, like Egwene, or sorry, Nynaeve, if she did channel to heal Egwene or soothe Egwene or, whatever, like make
Whatever,
her
yeah.
passing easier, make her passing the night easier.
Yes.
Let's be clear. Then honestly, it could have been both at the same time. Like Egwene could have been going through her sickness, her channeling sickness or whatever, and Nynaeve could have been using her ability with the one power to make it easier. That
Yeah.
sounds
Kind of like when Moraine was showing her the gem, and the powers were making each other stronger and all that.
yeah.
It was that.
Um,
That was sort of,
yeah.
the weaves were making the weaves.
Yeah. So that's That's a good point. All good points. Love, like, once again, another callback to the books for book readers. That still made plenty of sense in the context of just the show if you're only watching the show. And that's...
Nim just said that an Aes Sedai horse would be a Tesla in modern parallel.
Well, yeah, I saw that.
I mean, right? Especially a healthy horse, I'm sure.
So Sith Master asked, and
Just
this is a
plug it
good
in
question. Do you think the show is keeping the channeling sickness? Well, I think...
Wait, what was the question?
If the show is keeping the channeling sickness. I think,
It's a great
yeah,
question.
given how we're not seeing any characters that can channel get sick, but we have seen Matt get sick, and we have seen Tom assume that Matt can channel because he's sick.
Yeah.
So to me, that means maybe there is a type of channeling sickness. Because if Owen had it, unless Tom was just referring to, like, Owen getting, like, testy, you know? Like, because Matt was, like, biting everybody's heads off.
Definitely testy.
Yeah. But Matt was also ill. Seemingly ill. So that's my guess that, yes, it exists. I don't know. Do you all agree with that?
I agree.
Well, I mean,
I think it's possible. Yeah, I think the sickness is still in there. We just haven't really seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, how
We've
soon is it
always-
supposed to hit?
We've only seen the madness a few times. Very beginning of first episode where the guy was picturing somebody else. We saw Logain.
Okay.
And then we hear about it with Owen. Was saying that Owen was changing. I don't know if he said he soured.
So maybe that was a madness, like a reference to his madness.
He's getting testy and that stuff. So yeah, possibly. But I don't know if they actually mentioned sickness.
That's a good point.
So we'll have to see.
So maybe not. Also, there was a month time jump, so maybe we didn't see as many people getting sick as got sick. I don't know.
Yeah, the month really changes it a little bit.
What is up with that month jump? That was upsetting.
And
Oh,
when
really?
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
We didn't need to see all that travel. Just get us
kidding.
there.
I do love the Rand and Matt escapades in the Eye of the World, but I know, like, it's for some people they get lengthy, so it works
They do.
both ways.
Read the books.
Yeah, I mean, read the books. No. So yeah, there's a lot going on with whether channeling sickness exists, how quickly the madness comes on, and it's different for every person. Like, at least the madness, for some people they can go 10 years without going fully mad. Others are almost happen immediately. It's just kind of
random.
It's completely random. So that's another little bit of book knowledge for you, just in case you hopefully don't consider that a spoiler. Okay, let's get into the tower. Rand and Matt, moving on. We did it. We did. We're two of the three plots down. And I think a perfect thing to start with for this one is our girl, Leandrin. Our girl, Leandrin.
Whoever thought we'd say that?
I know. But
Your girl, Leandrin.
Kate Fleetwood is doing so
I love what they're doing with her.
I know.
Yes, I love what they're doing with her.
I
anticipated it, and I've been right so far.
I got a theory that I saw online.
Okay.
I have a theory that I saw online that I want to bring up and hear your thoughts. How I feel about this theory. So there's a theory going around that Andrin, in the scene that she's talking to Nynaeve, may actually be Lanfear disguise. Because when she comes back to talk to, I don't know where that came from.
Who's Lanfear? Tavern?
I don't know, but that's what was online. Wasn't it the stable hand?
It'd be very interesting.
Was the stable hand? Anyways, we can talk about that.
Spoilers and stuff.
Spoiler section.
I mean, that's not a thing that happened in the books. This is blinding speculation. So just
run out of wine.
I like those.
So no, I like it. I'm just saying
wine.
for anyone who is not
Bring it.
a book reader, I just want to say that, like, that's not something that happened in the books. We are not spoiling that. That is pure speculation.
Crazy speculation.
Complete
like it.
speculation.
I want to talk about it in the spoiler section because I'm trying to figure out how the hell they would pull it off.
It'd be fun. Whoever came up with that, that's fun.
That is a really fun theory, especially like I don't know though, it felt so intimate, like the little like caress, you know what I mean, on the cheek, and then she just purses her. I don't know. She's so good. Kate Fleetwood is so good at this role. You did?
I have a theory all around this too.
Okay, bring it on.
One of my wild, weird ones. Here we go. Okay, so So we have Leandrin, running into Nynaeve in the warders area and directing her through the library, I believe, to the gardens where the persimmons, I believe she says,
Persimmons
are in season.
which makes
Persimmons, which
the worst
funny. I
pronunciation
love
of
how
all
that
time.
sounds. Oh, it's so funny. I loved it. Persimmons.
It was very fancy.
It was.
Okay.
Okay, so she sends Nynaeve that direction, which then we find out that's where Loyal is because he has access to the tower grounds. And so Loyal gets access to the tower grounds. He's in the garden. He happens to see someone who has a Two Rivers braid, Two Rivers garb, and just assumes it might be this young woman that his new friend Rand was just telling him about,
It's totally wrong.
Hmm?
Totally wrong, because Rand was talking about somebody that used to read the Jane Farstrider books, which was Egwene.
You're right.
And
He
Loyal
was.
yeah,
He gave
yeah,
no
yeah.
names. Loyal didn't need names. Loyal says that
Exactly.
he knows people by their hair. So he knew, or assumed things about Rand because of his hair. So he assumed things about Nynaeve because of her hair and probably approached her and then took her, to meet up with Rand. And so then you have this scene here that's super, like, I don't know if it's awkward or hot. Like, Leandrin and Marina, like,
Both is good.
touching her face. Like, yeah, both. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then she says something to Moraine. I don't remember the exact words, but you keeping Nynaeve all locked up. And Moraine's response I thought was just killer. She was like, I'm sure she's resting from her long travels, which I think is their way of saying almost to each other, do you know that she's left the tower? And Moraine's like, I know she's left the tower, bitch. That's what it came off to me. It's this moment of communicating without communicating, kind of like how they do.
Yeah.
And then later we see Alana sitting on the bed without her boots on, eating a persimmon, which means that she or maybe one of her eyes were also in the garden and maybe also saw Loyal with Nynaeve. And so now everybody knows where Nynaeve and Rand are.
She was eating a persimmon. Yeah, the actress actually
Yes.
confirmed that on Twitter. She's like,
She did. I saw
because
that.
I was like,
with a knife.
is that a peach? First reaction, because
I thought it was an apple.
Because peaches are poison in the Wheel of Time. I noticed though that it didn't have a core, so I was like, okay,
It did not, yeah.
some random fruit that I'm not aware of. I was aware. It's a freaking persimmon. Leandrin said it. I should have been listening.
Very helpful.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the official
And if
character.
there's an Augear in the gardens, people are going to totally take note of that.
100%.
They're going to be interested in that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Kevin Mudweiler in
And
the chat
Mor-
says the official character bio in X-Ray says they have a past. So I wonder what their past is.
Oh, for sure.
Leandrin and Moraine.
Hello,
This is
friends,
clearly
for
some intimate.
Rain seems to have a
business.
past with a lot of people.
Hey, good for her.
Whatever, babe.
I do
Whatever.
love her smug. I don't know if it's smug or sly or more Rosamund Pike playing Moraine as this. Just,
Oh my gosh.
I know literally everything. Get off
Everything.
my dick. I love
Yes.
I love
That is
her.
true.
And everything that she does, she's so good. And the
Yes.
look on her face this entire conversation was pure gold. Tavern, I cut you off.
She's
What
like,
do
I
you
already
say?
know everything.
Yeah, literally. Shoo shoo.
Everything.
Great, she's amazing.
So good.
And I love how Andrin's like, where are you keeping Nynaeve? Right? You just didn't talk to her and send her into the garden, you psycho. It's
Yeah, I know what you did. Yeah.
that's what that was that was part of the theory, but I was like, I don't buy it. I like
So we
the
do
fact
have
she was
that-
just playing coy.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
You're good.
I'm so excited.
Go for it.
We have that moment with Nynaeve and Leandrin when Nynaeve is like, so you hate men, and
Yeah.
Leandrin answers like an Aes Sedai, and doesn't answer. She just makes a statement. But then we see Moraine, she says it, Nynaeve does not have the contempt for men that you do, which means that she's able to say those words. So at least from Moraine's version of the truth, her understanding of reality, Leandrin does hate men. So I thought that was interesting to take note of.
Yeah.
That and the fact that she literally said, and men still hold power over a lot of this world, especially over a little girl that has a spark. She hates men.
And we
She
we
hates-
definitely just saw men who have power and how they deal with little girls. They showed us what it looks like and what they do to
This-
them.
the similarity to me where they had their hands on Egwene and were scrubbing her down is the same feeling I got when Leandrin touched Moraine.
Oh,
Where
really?
he's just like, "Ugh."
Oh,
Yes, I was
no,
like,
no, no. The power play is totally different in both of those.
I get it,
It's
but
like
to me,
massively different.
it
I
was a
agree.
bit vile on both parts because I hate Leandrin. I
Oh,
love her as
okay.
a
You're
character.
okay. Bringing that in
I
on your
mean,
own. Got
okay,
it.
you hate
Because
Leandrin,
Moraine
yeah.
was not. Moraine was not having
no.
it. She
No,
was
that's
not
not what-
intimidated or.
That's not what I was
Yeah.
talking about. It's just the fact that
Yeah.
you
She
have
was in
this
control.
one person and this vile person seeing this other person in a weird way.
Being like touched. Yeah.
Unwanted touches.
And on the face too.
On the face, no less.
Hmm.
Richard Lona, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Leandrin/Lanfear conspiracy. The name of the episode does give this theory a bit of credit. Blood calls
The
blood.
one for
Interesting.
That's what I was going to talk about at the end.
Okay. Just
So
so
kind of-
if you're new here, we go full spoilers at the end of every stream. So if you have any like crazy theories that are super spoilery from the books, just give it a minute and we'll be there.
And give it a minute.
Okay, I also wanted to note from this image specifically, we got the arms crossed, which is a classic Wheel of Time move. So I thought that was funny, especially because it was Nynaeve, and Nynaeve is always the like, bristling, not putting up with
Yes.
your BS lady, and she's perfect in this scene. She nails
Yes, the best one that she does is when she's in her quarters in the warder area, and Nynaeve and Land come in, and she's trying so hard to be strong, but then Moraine sends Land out, and that's when she
Yeah.
crosses her arms, and you see like this real change, like, yeah, there's like a body language change that happens there, like when she is becoming like vulnerable almost. Is
Yeah.
that body language that's giving off? There's another really good moment with her body. Man, this actress, she's
so
incredible.
good. She's so good.
God. So when they enter the White Tower, they show her walking in. And I mean, her shoulders are just like, she's looking around. She's like, whatever, White Tower, who cares? And then she sees all these statues of the warders,
Yeah.
and you see her like realize the weight of where she's at. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it is stunning the way that she displays that for us.
It's kind of hard to see, but I think she actually like crosses her shoulders right at that point. You don't really
Yeah,
see
shoulders
it, but
arching
it kind of looks
in.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really well done.
Sith Master, you're
so
right.
good. She's so good.
Nynaeve's maybe the White Tower should fear me. And Moraine's just looking at her like, okay. Also, Kevin, my
Like-
brother, thank you for
Yeah.
being here. I know you just said you had to leave, so
Okay.
I just wanted to thank you. If you haven't
Leaving.
left
I'm glad you
yet.
were here.
We're so happy.
Yeah, the whole like, I'm powerful, y'all should be afraid, but Moraine being like, yeah, you can be powerful, but you don't actually like have any skills is such a good like, get in your place for just a minute. Like,
Yeah.
Sit down.
just be there and grow, Like,
you have such
You could be
potential.
huge. You could be huge, but you don't have a hammer to put that nail in the wood. So
Exactly. Exactly.
No
You gotta-
skills.
You got to learn your stuff.
like listen, pay attention, observe. Yeah. Can't wait to see
point
what she
out
does.
in this picture the detail
Oh,
on
yeah.
that door. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're fine.
Detail in the
Mhm.
entire place is amazing.
It is. It is.
Mhm.
Man, this scene is just like,
Right.
This was a great scene.
So we've
Mm,
basically
such
been
a good
holding
scene.
out. Was the man from the Cold Open episode 1 Tom's nephew Owen? Liz Lancaster asks. I don't think so. Because Owen, yeah, I don't think so. I feel like.
On the very first episode, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
I mean, I feel like they would have done something with that.
let us know something.
Yeah,
Could have
like
said
they
his
would've let us
name
know
or
somehow.
something. Yeah.
So, all right, we got to talk about Steppen. This is like we've been holding out this entire time.
Oh. It hurts.
Granted, that is how the episode ended, so it's somewhat appropriate that we haven't talked about it until the very end of the episode recap. But man, so he's clearly struggling, and we were just talking about Nynaeve, which is why I pulled up this picture. He like sneaks in, doesn't sneak in, tricks Nynaeve. I don't know. Tavern, you've talked about how this whole sequence affected you. Do you want to talk about it, or you don't have to?
I mean, I can.
Okay.
So this whole arc is very reminiscent of what service members go through when they lose a battle buddy or somebody that's close to them in the military, and a lot of the emotions that Steppen portrayed beautifully in this part of the episode. The loss. He started drinking again. He talked about how he used to drink. He went straight back to drinking, which a lot of service members do. Meditated suicidal thoughts. As you said, he tricked Nynaeve here. it wasn't he. If anybody was thinking he was getting the tea for him to sleep and not to put whoever was watching him to sleep, you're fooling themselves, or you're fooling yourself. So a lot of the emotion in this whole story arc really resonated with me. I'm a retired vet. I deal with PTSD on a daily basis, and I told Winespring, I sent her a message, and I was like, listen, I had to it took me a few days to really get through this whole thing. The conversations they're having, the suicide watch, that Lan was sitting there and all the warders were taking turns, all of that is accurate to what happens today. Somebody loses somebody that close, we literally put somebody in the room with them and do not leave them alone. So very, very intense emotional connection that I had with this episode. I'll just leave it at that.
That's fair.
Thank you so much for sharing that, and deciding to share that with everybody. That's a big deal. That's not easy to do. We definitely appreciate that.
Absolutely. I have no way to know what that's like. I wasn't in the military, and just seeing it, obviously it had a huge emotional impact, but obviously it was not to the level of someone who's seen this kind of stuff in action. So thank you. That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, showing us this masculine grief here too a little bit in the way that they did, allowing him to break a little bit. He decided to suicide. That was his choice. Not every person, like you've said, you did not decide to do that, and a lot of people I'm sure that have decided not to do that also. Yeah. But they decided to go that route with this character, giving us the opening to talk about it too, which is a really cool thing that the Wheel of Time is doing for us. We can talk about masculine grief and mental health and why it's very important.
Just add this real quick, just because I would be remiss if I didn't. That every day or every 22 minutes we lose another soldier to suicide.
So I guess the message there is, if you know of anyone who's been in the military or who is struggling with mental health, it always helps to reach out and talk to them, probably.
Even if you're just listening. Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, and if you're struggling yourself, you should definitely take the time to find what you need, what feels good for you in those moments to, get some freedom, maybe not the alcohol like we saw Stefan do, and don't give your friends any tea that makes them go to sleep, nothing like that. But there are things like Headspace that has free basic meditation that you can go and learn how to do that. And that, is very fun to pick up, and so that's free, headspace.com. There's the Think Up app, which is affirmations that you do in your own voice, which is really powerful for the brain. There's Yoga for Adrian, which is free on YouTube. Go and learn how to do it. There are things to do for yourself and that you can send other people's to that we need to be talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for that, because I knew some of those sites, but I didn't know all. I think we've depressed everybody enough.
I was going to say, okay, so
let's
obviously reach out. Well, not obvious. I know it's really hard sometimes, but I did see in the chat.
I need to get
go ahead.
Get that list from you, Wayne.
Yeah, for sure.
You got it.
Some people have pointed out that the loss that warders face wasn't as obvious in the books, especially early on. So throughout the books, without saying who, or when, some Aes Sedai and warders a warder will die or an Aes Sedai will die, and we see the repercussions from that. It doesn't happen right away, and we don't get as much of the internal, suffering until way later on in the books. And so the fact that this happened early on gives us an idea of what it will mean if it happens with characters that we're more familiar with later. So I think this is great.
They talk about it. Moraine and Alana talk about it when they're on the bed. About passing on bonds. Is that what Moraine is asking about there?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alana's like, no, friend, let's not go there. You're going to be here a lot longer. Put your mind at ease.
She says there's an ancient ritual or whatever that allows you to pass on a bond, and that's when Alana's like, no, stop.
Yeah. But that kind of shows you where Moraine is. She's watching what's happening with Stefan, and she's like, I love Lan. What can I do to prepare? If something happens to me, it's just a will, what can we do?
So one of the lines that was really intense was, I think they said something it was he swallowed death.
Yes,
because of the bond. It was a big statement there. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Joel Welliver,
Intense.
thank you for that. Suicidal thoughts, please call the number that he put in the chat and YouTube. Thank you. I did
Good
not.
job.
I
Thank
didn't
you.
know the number. Otherwise, I would have said the same. But now it's in the chat.
I don't see it. Where is it?
It's in YouTube. It's not on Twitch. It's 1-800-273-8255. At least it's showing up on my Streamlabs. Maybe I'm quicker than you. Something else that was interesting from this sequence was the fact that he returned her ring to the tower. So they removed the stone, and he either kept it or put it on her grave. I don't know if we know which one is which. The stone was removed from the ring, and then he deposited the ring back into this ring of presumably melted gold. So we, I guess, don't know whether the future Aes Sedai rings are forged from this same place. You know, if they pull the gold in order to create new rings out of the rings from past Aes Sedai, which would be very symbolic for the Wheel of Time. You know, everything is circular and things come and go, and everything is recycled. So that would be kind of cool, and not something that I remember.
What I got out of this, yes.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of it. That you're returning it to then take back later.
Right.
I mean, so yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool. A little neat little thing that we didn't actually bring up.
Yeah.
And let's see, what are our last? Oh yeah, I guess we didn't really get into this, but we got this in the promo. The knives. We got this in the promo. Now we know why. I think some people were kind of spot on when they I think some people guessed what was going on with this on Twitter. But yeah, this not a fun picture now that we know what the heck happened. I just didn't hold it. So display knives not the best in this situation. And then finally the last scene, for which Daniel Henney won like best dramatic performance for the week, because why wouldn't he? This was amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, so we finally got our white for morning, which is a thing in the Wheel of Time universe, and I think in some other like actual like cultures in this day and age. I'm not familiar with which ones, but instead of black, like I would wear, or like in, you know, I don't know if Christianity and other things like that. Some cultures wear white, and I think that was kind of beautiful. Like it was a really bright scene for the thing that was happening. So did you guys like hear or look into what this ceremony generally like kind of came from, was inspired by, or, you know, do you have any thoughts about the ceremony in general? Meme, what are your thoughts about the ceremony?
I guess, I mean, obviously it was very emotional. You know, so there was that aspect. One of the things I noticed, which I'm sure you guys probably noticed too, is it's kind of a bookend as far as the visual aspects of it. It's a lot like how it opened. You know, you talked about white, which, you know, snow at the beginning, and there's a lot of white at the end, and they're all kind of in a circle. So I saw a lot of like parallels there, you know, bookends with how they did that. And like even the title is bookends, blood, you know, calls blood. It was very, very intense.
Yeah. So I can get super weird on this if you want.
Bring it on.
Okay.
Let's get weird. Get weird.
Come on, be weird. Okay, so you see they're standing in a circle. They're all in white, and they're grieving. So we have like, in a sense, an energy circle. So they're garbed in their mourning clothes, and snow, you know, symbolizes death also. So that's from the beginning, and then you have the white, so for death. So we have the energy circle, and then we have, I think he says, lay your hand on him, and you see Lan like reaching over and laying his hand on, which is like making a connection with this person, you know, who they need to grieve, like as a group. And so he lays his hand, and that's when you really see him start to get his emotions out. You know, I think, what does the guy say? Like, relieve us of our grief. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the energy circle weirdness I'm going with here, is that they needed as a group to get together and release the energy. And in this world, we talk about there being like stores and pooling from things. And so if they didn't like get that energy out of their body, they were going to have like that grief stored there, which can be a weight that none of them need. And so they came together and actually were able to emotionally, verbally, and physically get their grief out as a community over this person that they loved a lot, who did suicide, and they're still coming together as they rightfully should to grieve them, which I thought was really powerful. I actually found it very powerful to see them do that together.
That's awesome. Just piggybacking off of that, I guess I have two things. First of all, the title of the episode finally makes sense to me. Blood calls blood. So we saw the death of the Aes Sedai, and then like not long after we have the death of her warder. So awesome. I did really well putting those things together. Yes. And then secondly, the way you just described that grieving ceremony, that makes so much sense, where they have to like, they're like pounding on their chest trying to release the grief. And then I saw some people complain about the scene where finally Lan just like rips his shirt open. But if we're looking at it that way and they're trying to release the grief and Lan is the conduit for that,
yes.
it would make sense that like that's like it would literally burst from his chest. So
and you see Nynaeve, she doesn't know this ceremony. She's watching. She is feeling it. Yeah. She knows it. And you see her going like she's doing this stuff with her face. And that is the grief. That is that sad energy needing to come out. And she just needs to start. She just needs to get in there with them and get it out.
It was kind of an interesting parallel. You see Moraine, you know, like experiencing Lan's feelings. And then they go to Nynaeve kind of doing the same thing. And even though she's not bonded with him or anything.
That's a good
The
point.
cool thing about it is, as you're watching and, you know, him and start the grieving process and being the conduit, as Kritter said, this grieving grows as more people start pounding.
Yes.
There's a correlation. It starts with one guy. By the time the entire circle is pounding, including Nynaeve at the end, is ripping his chest, and so all of that is just pouring into him and out.
Yeah, it's like everybody gave in, everybody gets the release. He's the one that's verbalizing it the loudest for the group. And it makes me think a little too, there's some cultures that, especially a long time ago, would hire wailers to come to their funerals, professional wailers, so they would come and wail and grieve loudly, you know, so that those who needed to do it and not feel restrained and not feel any shame for needing to do it could, because there were other people maybe being a little more ridiculous. Or maybe not ridiculous, more dramatic, you know.
It's that theory where, you know, if you start clapping in a room full of people, other people will start clapping. If you have somebody, like you said,
that shared experience,
it's wailing, you're more comfortable doing it as well. Yeah, absolutely.
We've got wailing, we've got keening, we've got designated mourner. Somebody said that in the bonus features, Rafe talks about having a designated mourner, and I remember hearing that. I just couldn't remember where I heard it from.
I did not know that. Of course he did.
Of course he did.
What am I thinking? I'm not even surprised. Rafe Judkins, of course you did.
Gosh. Which makes a lot of, and so like,
damn it, Rafe.
People who are hating on Lan for like, no way, my Lan would be emotional. Like, you know what? If it was his duty, he 100% would. So
yeah, Steppen gives him that duty when he's drinking the tea, and Lan says, he's saying it about Nynaeve, like, you know, like, what is it? I can handle a lot or something, you know, about not being in love. I can handle a lot drinking my tea. And Steppen says, I know you can. And he handed to Lan that leadership in this moment for grief in that.
Oh, yeah.
Because Lan's drinking the tea that's going to put him to sleep, that's going to open the door for Steppen to go in suicide. So he knows that Lan can hold that, you know, and lead that, you know, in the grief.
And talk about the guilt trip, right? Because now you have Nynaeve, who gave him the tea.
Yeah.
Who's Lan, who was with him and drank the tea. You know, to him, Lan is, and I know this feeling, that you're a failure.
Yeah.
Right? And now you.
Who's a failure?
Being in similar positions like that, there are a lot of people that would, in that situation, would have guilt, survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
Survivor's guilt. Okay.
Or the fact that,
Definitely.
Holy shit, I failed in my job. I had one job. I had to watch him, and I failed. I didn't catch the tea or whatever. So all of that's just piling up, and then you have Nynaeve. Holy shit, I gave him the tea.
Yeah.
I mean, so it just piles on. Yeah, it's crazy, but such an amazing scene. This last scene,
such an amazing scene.
I feel like Nynaeve's not even going to be that surprised. Maybe that's expecting too much of her experience, but I mean, she addressed the fact that the pain does not go away.
Yeah.
I was surprised
she's
by that
aware.
comment.
She was either talking about her
She's a
parents
healer.
or
She's lost a lot of people in general.
Yeah.
Like the
She
pain
was
doesn't
either
go
talking
away when you
about-
love.
either talking about her parents or the old wisdom. I think where she says that pain doesn't go away because she still feels that pain. We saw it during during the lantern ceremony when she put her lantern in the water and was crying because she still feels that.
It's true.
And we saw it when the
yeah.
old man was dying, right there while Trollocs were still raging, and she took a moment. Like she loves her people. Like she holds that. Yeah.
She does. Scott Zoe Robbins is the perfect Nynaeve.
Oh my gosh.
She's so
Brought her to
good.
life. Brought her to life.
Caleb,
Ugh.
I agree. I guess the question is going forward, are they going to continue on with this guilt? Or hopefully, fingers crossed, just for their own mental health, this ceremony will have helped them release it. I know
think
that
that's
was
what they're
probably
doing here.
the goal. Both Nynaeve and
Yeah.
Lan had major releases. So,
I wonder if Nynaeve actually like knew though. That would mean that Lan would have to tell Nynaeve what happened, and maybe he would
No.
want to like put that on her.
maybe.
Oh,
True.
I think I get what you're saying.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
I was going to say I don't
Wonderful
think
to see it.
Nynaeve. I don't think Nynaeve saw that coming.
Oh
Honestly,
no, I don't think she saw it coming, but I
Yeah,
don't think she'll be
yeah.
surprised either.
I wouldn't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But Lan would have to tell her that it happened.
it's true.
Otherwise, she wouldn't know.
Otherwise, she'd have no idea it related to her and the tea. Okay, fam. So we usually try to keep this to 2 hours. We're coming out in 2 hours. We haven't yet done our spoilers moment. So let me give you a warning. I'm going to throw up the spoilers flag somewhere just as soon as I find it. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Here it is. Okay, spoilers. Yay. And we're going to pull up the
Put it in a box.
Here we go. Oh, wait, I messed it up again. Here we go. Yes, warning. This segment contains spoilers for The Wheel of Time. So if you have not read presumably all of the Wheel of Time books, or you are not worried about getting spoiled for all of the Wheel of Time books, I recommend you leaving. Thank you so much for coming if you are leaving. We are here every Monday at 7:30 Central Time. And also let me plug WoTCon, which I'm helping to plan and will be in Ohio in July. And I will be there, and I hope you will be there too. Tickets are now available at WoTCon.com. Winespring also going to be there. And this isn't like an official thing, but, well, it is an official. It's a really official thing, so I don't have to plug it because I'm nothing. But the Wheel of Time after show.
nothing.
Sorry. I'm not the marketing
I am
team.
nothing.
I'm not the marketing team for Amazon, so I feel like you're gonna watch it anyways. But like the official Wheel of Time
That's a
after
good
show
point.
featuring me and other people too is tomorrow at noon Central Time. So if you haven't been watching those, it's on the Prime Video YouTube page, and I had a ton of fun shooting the one for this episode, even though obviously this episode was super heavy. Don't forget to check it out. Thank you for coming. We're going full spoilers now. Okay, Tavern, what's your theory about this?
Okay, first off, it's not my theory.
Okay.
It's a Twitter theory. It's a Totterdom theory. That Leandrin, scene where she's talking to Nynaeve, have been Lanfear in disguise, which I think would have been the web of mirrors or whatever. in the
Mask of
books.
Mirrors, yeah.
Mask of Mirrors. And to be honest, I mean, it's kind of weird. I know that they're introducing. We've seen Balsamon already. We saw the little statues that we didn't talk about tonight, but the little statues
I've got a
of the
picture of
Forsaken.
them that I'm about to pull up.
Nice.
So I think that the two people talking to Logain may have been Forsaken. Instead, I doubt. I mean, I know that Rafe has said they're there. They're being introduced. We may not see it. We may not know it.
True.
So the whole premise of that theory is that he talked Nynaeve into going out, and then when she was talking to Moraine, it was like, where are you keeping her? Like, she didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that's concrete enough for me to say, no, you're right. That's it. That's just the theory that's going around. I don't know if I agree with it, though.
Okay.
And although I am all for Forsaken, I'm all about the Forsaken, being in the show. I think that's a little bit far-fetched for me.
So Rafe said we were going to get Forsaken. I agree. I feel like that
Yes.
there could be hidden Forsaken. That's possible.
It could be
But-
these statues.
But it could be these statues. But, but
Like the
if we're gonna
statues.
get to the Eye of the World,
I don't know.
it's gonna be Ishii. Like we like if we get to the Eye of the World, we're 100% gonna get Ishii. So that covers that. We've got these statues though. This image I pulled from Sarah of the Maidens of the Spears Twitter because she put them all next to each other, which was incredibly helpful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah.
It's at Spear Maidens. Also follow her on YouTube. She just hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, which is incredible. Good for her.
Hey. Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we have the statues. We've got the super busty one, which I think everyone agrees is probably Grendel.
Probably.
And
Probably.
and then the short. We've got a really short guy. It's the third one from the left. It's probably Samael, right? Because of the height.
Beard, Samuel, yeah. With the
Mhm.
beard, yep.
Wow, look at you guys go.
Yeah, we got. Well, I'm also like Sarah.
Where is
Actually,
Mogedion?
Mogedian's the one with the webs on the far left, right? Because she's got like webs on her outfit. Looks like.
Ooh.
Um,
Yes.
All the way in the far left? Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. She's Sarah thinks the second one is Semirage.
Gosh.
Oh.
And I don't know why.
Okay.
Other than that, it's a
Neither,
woman
but-
who's probably more important than
No.
other women because
Yes.
right, she does some things to Rand that probably would be it's full spoilers because she takes Rand's hand.
There you go. Yeah. Boom.
And okay, so we've got
Talk
Samuel,
about it.
and then in the middle, Ishii, I assume because of the mask, most likely.
It looks like there's flames coming out of his mouth and eyes.
Right. Then we've got Lanfear, gorgeous, beautiful, like that seems
course.
right.
Mhm.
The belt alone, yeah.
The belt, true,
Mhm.
true. Asmodean, because he's got a guitar, and we have to have Asmodean. Like think about the Shadow Rising.
I
And
think
then
that little one
Yes.
is though.
she's guessing Dimandred, which would make sense because like he has a major role to play at the end of the series, right? Because he's like there. Like it wouldn't make
Yeah.
sense for him not to be in the series because everybody else has a role to play that we've named already.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't have a big role to play until the very end, but man, is that role like mind-blowingly
He has a
large.
role.
He's got a big role.
Mhm.
Like, so that's do you guys disagree? Wouldn't it be Masana and not Lanfear? Why, Diana? Why do you think it would be
don't know.
Masana? I would think
Good
if any
question.
they would replace Masana and what am I thinking? Semiraj, right? Because they're both like Masana was the one in the tower and Semiraj is the one with the Shan-Chan. I guess so that could be problematic. They're gonna have to be in two different
Yeah.
places at once. But it feels like they're both important.
But also, they don't have all of the Forsaken here. So
Right. Oh,
we're only
Grendel.
looking at what?
That's the one I'm thinking of. You could have Grendel be either Semiraj. Like, you could unite Grendel with either Semiraj or Masana. Because, like, what the hell is she doing? She's sitting in Natron's barrow, like, by herself. You know what I mean? Who gives a shit about what she's doing during
Gives
the
a
series?
shit.
Until she gets blasted with Balefire, which could happen anytime. Like, we could conflate
Yeah.
when Semiraj and confronts Rand, right? And instead of him being at Natron's Barrow, it could be somewhere where the Shan-Chan are camping, and he could blow that out of the water. You know,
Yeah.
like literally.
You're right.
Critter, the
Just
show
cut that whole
writer.
storyline
Yeah,
out.
like easy. We can figure it out.
We're
like,
going all out now.
Dimandred. Ooh, Tamondred. Sith Master asks, "Do we think that's gonna be real?" You know, they wouldn't be worshiping the Tame
Tame.
statue.
Yeah.
Taim, sorry. They would be worshiping a Taim statue yet because he's not a Forsaken yet. So, he could still show up, and I think they should be separate. What do you guys think? Anybody? have a
Separate.
strong-
Demodred and Taim?
Yeah. Timondred.
Here's my thing. So we know that they're uniting a lot of characters.
Yeah.
And we're looking at Valda. Valda is like easily 3 different characters merged into one. Would it be possible that they're doing that with some of the Forsaken just for the show, of course, because just like they had to minimize and rush through the 2 rivers at the beginning of the season because there were just too many characters to really get into names and stuff. Would they really 13, I believe it's 13 Forsaken?
No, I don't think they would. And I think these statues
So-
are their first way of being like, get ready, but
There's not that many.
These
There's
are
not
the
going to
eight-
be all of
Yeah.
them. I do think Taim is a cool character. on his
He's
own.
great.
And so I'm not sure it would work to unite him and Demon unless we get rid of the
That's
Sharns.
a good call.
Unless we get rid of the Sharns and Taim just shows up. But the thing is like, if that happens, there's so many bad things that happen. Like we don't get lands. I'm not here to win. I'm here to kill you. You know what I mean? Just so good. We either sacrifice that or we sacrifice what happens to Egwene. So, nah.
Let's not do that.
I know we're not. That's why I didn't actually say it out loud.
Well, we're full spoilers.
I know, but I didn't want to say it out loud because it's sad. It hurts. She's my favorite character.
Just don't say it.
I was gonna say, I mean, on top of what happened to her in the White Cloak camp, and we were actually talking about this in on Twitch chat a little bit ago. So on top of that, and then you throw on the Shanshin, her time with them,
man, that's rough. Caleb's got an amazing
it's gonna be
point.
Can't wait to
rough.
see it.
Caleb
Can't wait
says
to see how
14
they do it.
Forsaken,
That's
counting
true.
Taim, 14 books, 8 Forsaken, 8 seasons.
Shut up right now.
Shut
Who
up!
just did that?
It's so perfect.
Who was that?
Did you literally come up with that, Caleb, just now? Because wow.
Job, Caleb.
She's like,
wow.
shut up right now.
We need to have you on
Good
as a guest
Wow.
next week and just give us all your
How we're
theories.
gonna get viewers.
Literally, that's perfect.
The trophy.
Was that a gummy bear? What the hell
Golly.
was that? Oh, your ring.
My little 3D printed
Nice.
Iron. Man,
God,
I
that was
love that. That's
The
so cool.
best reaction ever. Shut up right now.
I know. I'm sorry. It's very genuine.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God.
That was very exciting. I love
Listen,
that, and I
that's a
hope you're
great
right.
Call. That's
It
a
works.
great
Yeah.
call.
It works. Sith Master, 8 seasons and a movie, please. I
Oh,
would love
really?
it's
this.
not
Seasons in a
It's
movie.
not Firefly.
Mhm.
Community,
Yeah,
right?
one-
Or community. I always think of community.
Yeah.
One season.
Troy
of
and
the
Abed
movie.
in the morning.
Yeah. Ah, I miss Troy and Abed. Do we watch all of the same shows? By the way, like
I think maybe.
I don't think we do, but
uh,
I think we do, but we watch enough. I
yeah,
think.
that's true. Troy and
Yeah,
Abed in the
for sure.
morning. God, I miss Troy.
I
and
feel
Abed.
like I'm not watching anything except Will of Time right now.
I have that.
I'm trying to keep up with Marvel stuff, but
Sith
it's
Master,
hard.
Troy and Abbott in the morning, nights.
Yes.
That would be perfect.
So
for them.
good.
Rand and Mad in the morning. There you go. Okay, so sorry. Let's go more spoilers. We think these are the Forsaken, probably. I agree with somebody in the chat that said Masana would be easy to cut because she can be united with some other people. She just showed up for a hot second on the tower or whatever.
Something.
What?
Sorry. I was like holding something and just randomly threw it in the air. Okay,
happens.
sorry. Keep going. So,
Okay.
Masana, yes, is what we're talking about.
Did we have any other major book spoilery theories from this episode? Is the question. Anything with Perrin and his wolf brother stuff? Probably not. I mean, we kind of talked about the fact that we think.
I'm a
Okay.
little
Oh, yeah,
worried.
because we're spoilers right now.
Yeah,
I was a
Sorry,
little
go ahead,
worried
Kevin.
with the path that they're taking with him, but I'm still holding out.
Fair enough.
There
Oh,
was
good.
there was another thing that I heard about. People are saying, or some people are saying that, or theorizing that Loyal is his size because he's young, and that maybe when we actually, if we see an Ogier steading, older Ogier might be larger,
Wow.
Oh yeah, I like that.
which
Yeah,
is interesting.
that's good.
That would be cool. I'd still be upset about the height, but it would be cool.
That
And
would
he could get
Yeah.
a different haircut too. So
Oh,
that happens.
His
Season
mom.
You can see
New
Aerith be
haircut.
like, Loyal, what is this hair?
Or
I
Aerith.
can't
It's a
even
new-
see
it's a
your
new-
ears.
new power.
Show
it's a
me
new
those
power for-
ears.
Yeah, it's gonna be a new power for Ogier. They'll have tree singing, they'll have stone masonry, and they'll have hair singing.
Hair singing. Very nice.
Um,
Very nice.
do his eyes not stay gold? Yeah, we talked about that, and I'm thinking maybe
Yeah.
we'll get like it's like a flickering light where now that he's coming into his wolfy powers, they'll
Building up to
they'll,
it,
They'll
yeah.
build up to him being permanently golden eyes. That's my guess.
Mhm.
We'll see.
Okay, so with Perrin, do we think he is communicating somehow with these wolves?
She
Like,
said it.
is it just instinctual, like knowing the wolf isn't gonna hurt them, or is there like actually some type of like
Well, if
brainwave
you
communication happening?
pay attention to what they've been doing, right? They had the weird hearing thing. Well,
Mm-hmm.
first the connection where they licked him, which sounded okay. I apologize for that. It sounded all weird.
It's exactly
There
what
was
happened,
the-
so you're fine.
Yeah.
So the hearing that was really cool,
Mhm.
which I didn't catch the first time at all. And now he's got his gold eyes. He comes out. wolf is growling at him like it's talking to him. He's like, he won't hurt us. Wayne's like, how do you know that? He won't hurt us.
He just knows.
There was some communication there somehow. They haven't explained it.
It could be
It's
more
definitely communication.
instinctive, you know, like his spidey
Could
slash
be.
wolf senses are going off, and I think
That's what I was thinking. Like a tingle, you know, he just knows.
Is Karen tingle?
Nithro brought something up in the chat that I like. It's like the wolves hearing a baby cry for help. Like Perrin doesn't know how to talk to them, but they can kind of hear him. You know, which
Beautiful.
I like.
I like that.
Yeah.
Plays in with the whining, with
It
the
does
whistle
play in
whining
with the
thing.
whining. Oh, sorry, I just got way too excited.
Yeah. Gosh, yeah.
And I'm wondering, like,
job.
somebody asked me this on my TikTok, like, how is it gonna be? Are they going to talk to each other? And I feel like maybe the show will do it the way it's kind of described in the books, where Perrin doesn't get words. Perrin gets vibes. Perrin gets images, you know what I mean? Like the way they tell each other their names, you know? This is Dapple, but really her name is like, you know, like a soft water falling on a pond and when the night's gray. You know, whatever. Like so
Yes, it's so good.
So maybe instead of them like talking, which would maybe run the risk of being a little cheesy. Except for maybe they'll talk in the wolf dream. I don't know, but like I think like
I hope in the wolf dream. Yes,
I think seeing like
cool.
Marcus's what he's seeing, you know, and maybe we'll just get like flashes of like white cloaks on the hill somewhere and blood and whatever, and then it's like, oh, white cloaks are coming or whatever, and we know that in that way. I think that could work too, personally.
That'd be cool. That would be cool. I don't know if a talking wolf, even in the dream world,
would work.
I don't think it'll work.
Yeah,
it would look
Unless it's CGI. And CGI would be really weird.
Oh, I don't want them to move their mouths ever. Like
Yeah,
if they
that
do
would be
talking,
super
if they
weird.
do talking, it'll be all like Baron hearing a
Telepathy?
whisper. You
Yeah,
know what I
like-
mean? And that's it.
Yeah.
But
What about what do you guys think? And I know this has nothing to do with what we're seeing so far, but how do you think they're going to portray the men's viewings? I've been thinking about this since the beginning. How are they going to pull that shit off?
I mean,
Beautifully.
they describe
That's
it in
how.
the books as like her
Beautifully.
seeing images above people's heads. So my guess is some kind of ethereal, like wispy kind of image somewhere near her, or like near the people she's seeing. That's all I can really think of. Like they're spending their CGI money on something because it's not Loyal.
I agree.
Sure are.
And I'm betting it's
Yeah,
It's
'cause
those
they
weaves.
put it on
I
Loyal.
think you're right.
yeah.
I'm glad they're not doing it with Loyal.
I am too. I would rather
Yes,
see
thank
cool
you for not-
men images
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Really interesting to see how they pull that off, because that's really
Yeah, I can't
one of
wait
the
for
things
that.
in the books that was the most CGI relatable. When you're reading the books and she's seeing these viewings, and you're seeing, you know, you're imagining these little images popping up almost like icons around somebody's head. So it'll
Little
be interesting to
emojis.
see. Yeah, that's what I thought. Little emojis.
Love it.
Um,
The little flame just hanging out.
yeah.
Above
neon-
Rand, there's just
neon-
an eggplant.
Perfect.
Oh,
Sorry.
man.
You said it.
I did. I know. I'm the worst.
I haven't had enough wine.
I know. Okay, so let's see.
Fuck.
Speely says the conditional golden eyes will be a way to tell viewers that Perrin is literally talking to the wolves. So that's interesting. You know, maybe like when he's
talking.
activating wolf mode, that's when we get his golden eyes.
They're twin powers.
I mean, yeah, that'd be a good way to signal it.
It could.
Very easy.
yes, yeah.
And it's probably, again, we keep talking about the CGI budget, way less expensive to only have him have golden eyes when he's fighting or
Yeah.
needing that. You know.
Contacts.
Yeah, contacts are like $3. You know?
But, you know, like, it could be the same with Daniel
At
Radcliffe
Walmart.
in Harry Potter, where he literally couldn't tolerate contacts. Like, certain eyes can't tolerate contacts,
yeah.
and that's just a fact.
Ruined the entire Harry Potter thing for me. I never watched the movie since.
Oh, the fact that Daniel Radcliffe didn't
Kidding,
have the same eyes, the Lily's green eyes. I don't blame you, because I also love
Like,
the idea of that,
fuck
but
them.
it's fine. Murphy says contacts are really tough on the actor, and I tend to probably agree with that. I have perfect vision.
Oh,
but,
lucky.
But every time
Dude.
I try to put anything in my eyes, literally eye drops in my eyes. I can't. Like, my husband makes fun of me. He will literally
Whoa.
try to help me. Like, I'll be like trying to hold my eye open while he's doing it so that he can like surprise me. I swear to God, I'm like a kitten
Surprise.
when it comes to stuff in my eyes. Like, I know it's
So I think we need to see a TikTok of this. I don't know, guys.
Yes.
Can we get a poll?
like when I hit
Poll
when
for
I
you
hit
to see this.
Let's,
when I hit
uh,
10,000
poll.
followers, that's what I'll do. Okay, guys, I'm gonna
Boom.
run this
We need
TikTok
followers
until
now.
my
The
husband gets
the
eye
eye
drops
drop
in my
episode.
eyes. So no, sorry, just to say.
I want
just-
to see this.
That's just to say that I understand if they don't want to put contacts in their eyes every episode, because I can't even put eye drops in my eyes like once every 3 years when I have something wrong with my eyes. So
Very nice.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Very nice.
Fair enough.
We learned so much about each other. You
I know, I feel like I keep disclosing stuff to you like every episode, like random critter
Write it
facts.
down.
And maybe I should give you guys
How
a
to
test
torture critter.
at the end of the season. all the random
Send
things
your-
you learned about me.
A box of Visine for Christmas.
Yeah.
As a prank,
yeah.
because no way would I ever use it. So, all right, we talked Perrin. Egwene, I think this was an interesting call out, and I'm wondering if they're gonna, and I feel like they have to still have her be captured by the Shan-Chen, but dear God, the kidnapping of Egwene is going to become a season by season thing now.
Yes.
Granted, this one was
Is it gonna
different
happen?
because Perrin was with her, so like this was different vibes, and she was kidnapped
so-
in the books too, so you know, like both times, so it wouldn't be any deviation for the books.
So, based on Marcus Rutherford's interview on the after show,
On the
After Show.
official after show on
Yeah.
Prime Videos
official after
YouTube.
show, he did say that Shan-Chen will be making an appearance in season 1.
That's
You
right.
didn't say that.
He did.
You did.
So that'll be freaking interesting. Maybe they'll, like I said before,
But just
maybe
an
they'll
appearance. Like,
yeah, maybe they'll just show the
That's a lot.
ships coming in or something.
Yeah.
Sneak peek, yeah.
But
Official
it'll be
prediction
amazing.
from Tavern: ships coming in. Let's see if that's it.
Don't start this shit because last show I had to get a check mark for some other crap that I said.
I feel like maybe at our last ever like post, maybe we'll do an episode, Wheel and Chill episode about the last episode, and then the next week we'll do a Wheel and Chill episode recapping the full season, and we can go through all of our predictions that we made and see how
Yeah.
right and
I
not
love
right.
that.
Oh
man.
Tally up all the
All of
stat
mine are
please.
totally right.
Exactly. Sid
Oh, man, you're
Master,
totally right.
then in the prison in Tyr, so much captivity. You're right. Was Egwene in the prison? I remember
Oh.
it being Nynaeve and Elaine. But was
Nynaeve,
Egwene
Elaine,
and Egwene? Oh, that's right, because
was
she was
some-
in the World of Dreams.
Wow.
Yeah, she was like trying to break
Yes.
out
Oh, that's right.
from the
She
World
was
of
trapped.
Dreams.
Oh, the world of dreams.
The World of Dreams! Sorry.
Yes.
That's going to be so cool. I can't wait till she starts surfing the World of Dreams. And when she's kidnapped by the tower, literally, how many times? Like, I haven't thought about
Been
it
imprisoned a lot.
until just now. I knew it was a lot, but damn,
The
it is a
hoodlum.
lot.
The hoodlum.
She's scrappy. That's part of why
Scrap.
she's my favorite. She is a
Unbreakable.
scrappy chick,
Breakable.
and that's why we love her.
Mhm.
Pretty unbreakable.
Okay, so
And the ass whooping.
Unbreakable,
the
that's
wise
right.
ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're getting carried away.
Egwene spoilers out of the way. I guess now we can also talk about like Rand being the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely being the dragon.
yeah.
Me, or is he still whiny?
He's all. What do you
No.
mean? Is he still what? He's
Are you picking that
he's
up?
supporting Matt
I don't
so
think
much.
he's Hermione. Yeah. He's coming off
okay,
as a
I will say-
superstar.
I will say this: in this episode, he was not whiny.
No.
And
I
kind of
did
whiny in
not
the
get
other
that.
ones.
I have somebody on my
Yeah.
Discord saying that
Yeah, the
Rand
first two,
is
for sure.
currently their favorite character. They're a new reader. And they're watching the
Oh,
show, and
welcome.
and I know I'm
Mm.
like, oh, this is really exciting. They're like halfway through the first book, and they said that Rand is their favorite character, and I was like, once I found out they were in the first book, I said, Rand is a real sweetheart at the beginning, and she's like, or she or he, I don't know. They were like, yeah, he's just such a good friend, and you know what? That's Rand in the show perfectly. He is such
It really
a
is.
It
good
is
friend.
true.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
Mean Girls reference. But it's like such a good friend.
Such a good friend.
But yeah,
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
that's Rand in a nutshell. He's like he's
Good job,
everybody's
Tavern.
bestie.
Yeah.
Yeah, name me thrill. I want to see some sword training sequences for sure with Lan and Rand because I loved that.
Stop.
Yeah, I feel like in every way that he was kind of whiny, he kind of had a right to be.
Kitty.
So maybe that's why it wasn't so out there in
Yes,
the
yeah,
show as
alright,
much as it
fine.
was in the book.
Fine, I take it back.
What's the kitty's
Take
name?
it back.
The teen.
What is it?
Oh,
Satine.
Satine.
Teen.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cute.
Teen, which is a fat
yeah,
woman.
Nicole Kidman's
Mhm.
character in Moulin Rouge. is Satine, the sparkling
Wow.
diamond. That's what she is.
You know what's fun?
Shout out to Nicole Kidman.
Is my dog's
Nice.
name is Athena, and we always call her Teen. So our pets have very
Aw.
similar names.
That's cute.
My pets
We call
don't
her
have a similar name
Slutine
at all.
too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Claude Convex.
What are they, Tavern?
Rand's father
No,
invented
they're
toaster
not
strudel.
Teen or Satine. Obi-Wan Kapuppy and Mara Jade.
Oh, very nice.
Obi-Wan
Very
Kapuppy,
nice,
that's
Mara.
so cute.
No, I was gonna say. Damn it, I was gonna say.
Now we know
something.
your passwords.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Definitely not. That's definitely not them.
No way. No way. No way is that them.
You have to add 1, 2, 3
Literally,
on there. Yeah.
I would never. Ever
What year were you born?
Not gonna get that either.
Sorry,
Well, I
this is
can
the
tell you,
wrong
and I
stream
can
for
tell
these
you, and
jokes.
it will not work. I'm
I
just
know.
letting you know right now.
Okay, we gotta
So
get
back to the
focused
Wheel
on-
of Time.
Yeah, we gotta focus
Yeah.
on it for the last like
We
5
gotta
minutes.
focus.
Let's call it 5 minutes. Rand. Some people are saying Rand is a little weaker because they're trying to make it less obvious that he's the dragon, and I agree only to the extent that like instead of getting a lightning strike that may or may not have been accidental, we got him busting down an iron door. To me, that's not weaker.
Mhm.
That's just different. You know, it's just a little
Mhm.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I showed you the screenshot of my friend that's watching the show, has never read the books. He's like, so far I like the show, but that redheaded guy's a pussy.
Oh no!
Wow.
I was like, ouch.
Literally.
Have they watched all the episodes, or?
They're caught up.
I
Just
mean,
because he
So
hasn't done
interesting to
anything.
hear how different people like perceive these different characters.
I've got friends, and each
Mm-hmm.
one of them thinks that someone different is the Dragon Reborn.
that's perfect.
It's amazing.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
You know, I have a
Yeah.
handful of friends too that are all over the place
They're
with what they
everywhere.
think. Yeah.
So far,
It's
everyone
like-
I've asked has thought it was Rand because everybody else has a thing.
Hmm.
and they did guess like maybe
Hmm.
Egwene, but she seems to also have her own thing. And I was like,
But not Nynaeve. Not even after her big old
not
explosion.
Nynaeve. No,
not
actually,
Nynaeve.
I interviewed them after the
Interesting.
first 3 episodes, so they did not
Hmm.
see Nynaeve's explosion. I
Is that
haven't
the-
talked
is that
to
the
them.
video that you made?
It is a
Okay.
TikTok I did. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I
after-
remember them saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. Also, Rand seeing Dragon Mount, recognizing it. He
Ugh,
did see it as a little
big
baby.
deal.
He wouldn't remember that. He would
Mhm.
remember it as
Oh.
Luce Theron, though.
That's what I was thinking
That's
earlier when you brought it
true.
up, Tavern,
I
is
didn't
it's
even
just
think
like
about that.
his instincts. He just feels like he knows it.
I didn't
yeah.
even think about that. Damn, you're
Yeah.
right.
Caleb brought that up. in
Or
the chat.
intuition.
Like,
yeah.
I didn't
remember
come
that
up with
mountain.
that by myself.
Rand's sitting there
Just
looking
own
at
it.
going, I remember that mountain. I made that bitch.
Yeah, basically.
Tis I, the mountain.
Oh my God.
Friends thinking Lan and Tom are dark friends? What? Blasphemy.
Who said that?
Wait, who are Lan and Tom?
Lan
That's
and
some friends. Somebody's Neem Heathrill's friends think Lan and Tom might be dark friends. That's
You have some
Yeah,
weird
listen,
friends. That's
you don't,
neat.
You don't need friends like that in your life.
yeah.
No,
tell you right now.
that's cool.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Tom maybe because he was sneaky. I love Tom.
Kinda-
Don't get me
he was
wrong.
kinda
I would
sketchy.
never. I
Yeah.
would never. But
Kinda
he does
sketchy.
give off sus vibes.
Never.
Yeah.
Super sus.
Super sus vibes. All right, guys, is this it? Do we have any more theories before we sign off?
We're
'Cause
good.
We have extended
done.
past our normal time, and I don't want to keep.
People still watching. We're really glad you're here with
We
us.
are so happy that
Yeah.
you're
Love
here,
you
and I
guys.
know
We
that
like talking.
once we hit
to you guys.
once we hit the spoiler flag, it was literally like, also we're going to talk about everything, including Krista's eye drop problem. Oh yeah, that's my name.
Boom. Done.
Okay, Dragon Mount wasn't there
Yeah.
as Lutheran. It was made as he died. Yeah, I know. He created it. He was on the mountain, so he wouldn't have perspective. You're right.
Maybe
Good
it's
point,
not.
good point.
Maybe it's
You
not
got
the
us, you
Dragon
got us.
Reborn. It's the Dragon Mount Reborn.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
And with that, let me just say, Wheel and Chill.
We're done.
Every week at 7:30 Central. Thank you so much to Memer Board for joining us. Thank you everyone in the
Yeah.
chat for being here this
Thanks for
whole
having me.
time. It was so much fun. Again, the official after show is tomorrow at noon Central Time, and the next episode, at least for me, is this Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. So, we
Very
get
nice.
The Flame of Tarvalin, I believe, is episode
Ooh.
6. Also officially Brandon Sanderson's favorite episode. A 10 out
Yeah,
of
what the
10.
hell?
So, I mean, I think we're getting Swan, and I am, for
Finally.
one, am effing stoked. So, pretty excited.
You're great.
And that's
Forgot to say-
that's pretty much it. Thank you all again, and I'm gonna go ahead and click the outro thing so I stop talking now. But this was super fun. Thank you, everyone.